It's a rivalry night in the Berg. It's week 3 of the IRMC high school football season. We got a great one on tap for you here. Coming to you on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club and simulcasting on Cat Country 106.3 FM and WCCS. Good evening, everybody, from our S&T Bank broadcast booth, S&T Bank People Forward Banking. Alongside the voice of the Homer Center Wildcats, Mark Birding, my name is Jake Slobodnik, inviting you for a fun-filled night of high school football here in Saltsburg, PA. It's a beautiful night for some high school football, beautiful night for a backyard brawl as 2 1-1 teams go at it tonight, looking to go above 500, while the other looks, well, they both look to do that, I should say. It should be a good one. The Homer Center Wildcats, the road team tonight, versus the River Valley Panthers, their second game here at the Saltsburg field. Should be an interesting one, Mark. Both teams taking a loss last week, both looking for retribution this week as people start to get filed in here to the broadcast booth. It's really going to be an exciting matchup tonight.
It is. You know, maybe the rivalry of the Blairsville Bobcats and Homer Center Wildcats is a thing of the past, Jake. That was a rivalry that went back to 1923. It was a shame that it went away. The Bobcats at the time, they started out 22-2 against Homer City High School, as it was known, and then from 60 until the series ended in 2020, Homer Center had a 49-39-5 edge, but it was fierce. And you know, I don't know that there are any rivalries left quite like that one, and maybe these two schools will be able to build up a rivalry, but we will wait and see. You know, this guy here, fans, you know, he's, as Travis said, the voice of the Panthers. He's like Joe Buck. Our digital manager, John Smathers, was here setting up mid-afternoon, and I joined him. You can see, you know, we're sweating, except for Joe Buck Jr. here. He still has his makeup on, looking good, and you haven't even broken a sweat. No, and I'm sitting next to a future Hall of Famer, not Troy Aikman, but Mark Birding, the voice of the Wildcats. Done this for several years, but yeah, I came strolling in while you guys were still setting up and kind of. But you did bring food. I brought the pregame meal, thanks to Point Street Tavern. I want to thank our friends over there. They got us a couple sandwiches. We'll talk to them. We'll talk about what they brought and how they sort of helped feed us before the game. But Mark, you know, again, going back to the rivalry, when an old rivalry dies, a new one is born, and I like to think that way about these two teams, especially with as even of a playing field as the Heritage Conference is this year. Both teams had a struggling season last year. Homer Center due to injuries, River Valley just underachieving, and now they're trying to get back on track. You know, I think this is a very balanced Heritage Conference and very balanced playing field here in Saltsburg today. I think I would expect a competitive game, Jake. This is the first time that Homer Center will play the Panthers on the road. The first 2 games were at Memorial Field, so third all-time series. Homer Center won the 2 home games at the friendly confines in Homer City, defeating the Panthers in a real good game, 28-22 in 2021. Last year they built a 34-6 lead and then cruised to a 34-20 victory. But there's 2 of the stars from last year's game that are back and will play big roles tonight, I feel. Quarterback Luke Woodring had a big game last year against Homer Center. They chased him all over the Memorial Field turf. He was 8 of 17 for 154 yards and escaped pressure. I was really impressed with him, and I know he's healthy and doing well this year. And Homer Center's Landon Hill rushed for 178 yards on 30 carries. And then quarterback Angelo Alexander, subbing for the injured Cole McInaldi, carried 7 times for 69 yards, only threw 2 passes, and then he was hurt. So Homer Center, as you mentioned, had an injury-plagued season, especially at the game's most important position, quarterback. But both teams are healthy here tonight. I think we're looking forward to a good football game. Absolutely, and as Mark said, a lot of stars from last year's teams return this year. We'll talk more about that with our Tale of the Tape, and we're just getting started on our Indiana Total Therapy pregame show. We got a lot on tap for you. Aside from the Tale of the Tape, we're going to hear from both of our coaches. I interviewed Coach Jess Hauser. Mark interviewed Coach Greg Page, because obviously. Then at the tail end, we're going to hear from Ward Hilliard. He's down on the sidelines tonight. We're also going to give you our keys to the game, driven by Luther Ford Lincoln and the Luther family of dealerships, including the new Luther Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria. We're just getting the table set here on the Indiana Total Therapy pregame show, coming to you from our S&T Bank broadcast booth. S&T Bank, People Forward Banking. We'll take a timeout, come back, give you the tale of the tape between some of these, both of these teams. We'll give you some of the stars to look out for tonight, and all that and more is coming up next on the Renda Media Sports Network.
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
It's a true treasure in Blairsville, a style of eating that's rare, and that's the diner experience. Dean's Diner on Route 22 captures the mood and atmosphere of the old-fashioned family-style eating of the off-road diner. Scrumptious home-style meals you remember growing up with, capped off with Dean's Diner's famous assortment of homemade pies. Why not stop in after the game? Open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Dean's Diner, Route 22, Blairsville, the classic diner eating experience.
Milk every moment.
Introducing the new Colonial Advantage at Colonial Auto Group. Our complimentary program with every new and used vehicle. 1 year of no-charge maintenance, meaning you can enjoy your new vehicle and let us take care of the rest. Plus, a lifetime warranty. That's a $2,500 value. The Colonial Advantage program is our way of giving you peace of mind with every Colonial vehicle purchase. Colonial Auto Group, home of the Colonial Advantage. Visit shopcolonialcars.com.
We're already in the week 3 of the IRMC high school football season, and there's a jam-packed slate of games this Friday night. One even features a primetime rivalry match. Hi again, everyone. I'm Jake Slobodnik previewing this week's slate of area high school football action with our weekly trip around the Heritage Conference. Let's start with the Backyard Brawl, brewing in Saltsburg as two 1-1 teams in Homer Center and River Valley square off for one night only. Both teams are coming off losses last week, the Wildcats to Penn's Manor and the Panthers to Purchase Line. Mark Burdig and I have the call at 6:15 on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, and simulcast on Cat Country 106.3 FM and News Talk WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. You can also listen online to the game using the link on those stations' respective websites. Our U92 Heritage Conference game of the week features two of the hottest teams in the Heritage Conference so far, as the 2-0 Purchase Line Red Dragons travel to Rural Valley to battle the 1-1 West Shamokin Wolves. Purchase Line is coming off a major win over River Valley at home last week, a game where they outscored the Panthers 38-7 in the final 2 quarters. Meanwhile, the Wolves fell to preseason favorite United Valley in Nannyglow, and tonight they look for retribution. Todd Marino and Chuck Clark have the call at 6:30 on U92.5 FM and U92Radio.com. Other games tonight feature the United Valley Lions going for their 3rd straight win as they battle Conemaugh Valley. Cambria Heights and Portage clash in a battle of Cambria County. Penn's Manor travels to Davidsville to face Conemaugh Township. And the Marion Center Stingers look for their first win over defending District 6 champion Northern Cambria. All games tonight plan to kick off at 7. And don't forget that you can relive all the action tomorrow morning from 8 to 10 during the Luther Ford Lincoln Coaches Corner program on our affiliate station WDAD 100.3 FM AM 1450 and WDADradio.com. Best of luck to all teams competing tonight. I'm Jake Slobodnik saying so long for now. This has been your trip around the Heritage Conference. Back inside the S&T Bank broadcast booth, S&T Bank People Forward Banking with our Indiana Total Therapy pregame show, getting things set up for the top of the hour when Homer Center and River Valley do battle here in Saltsburg. Welcome back. We're going to give you the tail of the tape now. I'm going to hand things over to Mark Burdig, the voice of the Wildcats. He's followed them for years now and 2 games into the season. And, Mark, there's a lot of things that we should know about the Wildcats, including their kind of a spread team. Give us a little bit of the overall view about them.
Well, definitely a spread offense, and Angelo Alexander is a weapon with his legs, and he's really been accurate throwing the football this year, Jake. He's among the leaders in the conference for sure. He's completed 24 of his 34 passes. He's thrown 5 touchdown passes. Will Jones is an emerging receiver for Homer Center with 9 receptions for 184 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Angelo can hurt you with his legs too. Last week I thought he was a little bit tentative early on in the game, and then as he began to, I think, get a feel for the game, and keep in mind he didn't play a lot last year because of the concussions and other injuries he had. So I think he's going to continue to get better, but those are some really nice stats when you don't throw an interception either among 34 passes. So the biggest issue for Homer Center, and the offense probably suits them well, even though they've been running it for a number of years, the spread offense, because for the first time, Greg Page did not return a lineman. And it's a work in progress on that side. They did not have a very good week against an experienced Penns Manor line that was very, very good a week ago.
Now talk to me a little bit about the defense, because like the offense, they lost a lot of players, and same with the line too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did. They lost the majority of their defense, and it's a very young Homer Center team. There's only 5 seniors on the entire roster, and they don't start many seniors on either side of the ball. Again, all new linemen up front. Linebackers, they lost Mason Bell, who was all Renda Media team first teamer last year. So they have Isaiah McCracken, a promising junior that they've put in there alongside Landon Hill. Good news for Homer Center, Landon Hill, who was just gutted it out last year. He's back and healthy, and he had 1,120 yards rushing, but he had to have off-season surgery for an issue that he had, and it'll be interesting to see if Landon can get back to form.
Well, I will say, I think no matter how, if he's close or he does get back to form, even gets better than that, it's good to see him back out there on the gridiron. So tonight, River Valley hosting Homer Center here in the Saltsburg campus. It's been a while since these two teams have played here in Saltsburg, and River Valley, they had a good start to the year in week 1 or week 0, whichever one you prefer to call it. Then week 1 or 2 came around where they suffered a crushing blow by the Purchase Line Red Dragons. They're now 1-1 on the season, much like Homer Center. Last week against Purchase Line, they took an early 10-0 lead through the first quarter and a half. And then Purchase Line, almost as if the flip of a switch, just turned things around and outscored the River Valley Panthers 38-7 through the final 2.5 quarters. And really, it was Purchase Line's height and rushing attack that really got to them. River Valley, though, they did have some success. Sam Yanitz, he finished under 100 yards rushing in the game, contrary to week number 1. But he did finish with 2 more touchdowns, so he's averaging 2 a game. He's got 4 this season. And Sam Yanitz, I remember last year, if I'm not mistaken, had one against Homer Center at Memorial Field. So when you look at Sam Yanitz, you're expecting him. He's almost like that tuck-it-and-gun type of player. Yeah,
and he, as you've told me, they use a kind of a stable of running backs. The Burkhart player is an impressive player. I watched some video this week, and, of course, Woodring stirs the drink. So some good, I think the depth, it will be important in this game. It's a hot night, and River Valley, I'd give them the advantage in the depth department. To answer your question, October 9th of 2020 was the last time Homer Center played here. Probably a year later, they thought, well, we're never going back to Saltsburg, and here they are. That was a wild night, 56-33.
Wow.
The Wildcats came away with the victory. I remember Ben Schmidt, the all-time leading rusher and passer at Homer Center, had himself quite a night on that particular evening.
Hard to believe it's been that long ago, but of course, Mark Burdig with his file cabinet-like brain remembers just about everything from Homer Center, River Valley, and the Heritage Conference. We're just getting started. At the top of the hour, we got action here from Saltsburg, and coming up in just a little bit, we're going to talk with head coach Jess Hauser of the River Valley Panthers for his weekly radio show that we see. That's turned into a little bit of a video this week. Stick around. That's going to be fun to watch. Then Mark will come by a little bit later. He'll talk with head coach Greg Page on the Greg Page Show. We're just getting started. At the top of the hour, we got Homer Center, River Valley for you, coming to you from Saltsburg in our IRMC High School Sports Night, Week 3 edition, a rivalry matchup here at Saltsburg on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter of all the area athletes, would like to wish the best of luck to all the Heritage Conference schools and, of course, the Indiana Little Indians this season. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts of any occasion. Show your school pride with gifts ranging from beautifully logoed coffee mugs, keychains, money clips, water bottles, and more. From the Indiana Mall to downtown Indiana, Hip, Jeff, and the Luxembourg's team wishes everyone an MVP season. Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
Hello, this is Jay
and Shannon.
From Hutton Blues Insurance. We pride ourselves on building strong personal relationships with our clients.
We are an independent agency offering you the best coverage at the best rate. When you buy insurance, whether it's for your home, car, business, or life, you want an advocate working in your best interests. And that's Hutton Blues Insurance, Route 119 North, just outside of Indiana.
We're also honored to have been voted in the top 2 insurance companies in the 23-24 Best of Indiana County contest.
Thank you, Indiana County.
The Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of our local teams and a proud supporter of American Legion Baseball, is pleased to be part of today's playoff baseball games and wishes the best of luck to all the athletes participating. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They're a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams, from your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
This is State Senator Joe Pittman, wishing all of our student athletes and their families every success. Friday Night Lights are always exciting, and I recognize how important it is for students to be involved in activities, whether it be in athletics or the performing arts. I salute not only all of our students, but also all who guide them, on and off the gridiron, and I wish all of our hometown teams the best of luck this season.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Don't miss the biggest floor sample sale.
Our ITT pregame show continues on Cat Country 106.3 with the Jess Hauser Show. Standing by with the coach, here's Jake Slobodnik.
Welcome back to our Indiana Total Therapy pregame show on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club and Cat Country 106.3 and News Talk WCCS for the Jess Hauser Show Week 3 edition. Joining me is Coach Jess Hauser. And last week, Coach, a little bit of a rough week for you guys. 38-16 loss to Purchase Line. To put it short, a lot of things just went wrong. 38-7, they outscored you in the second half. You guys started off well, though, so first thing I'll just ask you, damage assessment. What went wrong last week, and was there any bright spots?
Yeah, there were some bright spots in that first quarter. Like you said, we were up 10-0, and the wheels just fell off. They got a couple nice drives, and we had a couple missed tackles and a couple key blocks missed on the offensive line. But we'll get that straightened out this week.
You mentioned it there. Missed tackling was a big issue, and it seems very simple to maybe a football fan or even a media personality like myself. Is just, hey, you just wrap your arms around them and bring them down. But it's a lot more complex than that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, their running backs were hard runners. Quarterbacks were hard runner. They had good moves, and they were just hard to bring down. They're a tough team.
When you face a tough rushing core like that, I know we talked about this in our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show last week. When you face a very challenging rushing core such as Purchase Line, who had height, they had speed, they had a lot of star players, is it challenging to game plan for that, or is it again just something that you kind of just see how it plays out?
Yeah, I mean, with them you just can't key on one person. You have to key on them all, and that's hard to do because there's so many of them just going around and getting the ball. And like I said, that quarterback Alec, he could throw the ball real well, and that's what hurt us.
One of the bright spots last game was Sam Yanitz. His second straight game with 2 touchdowns. He scored 2 against Conemaugh Township, and then last week, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had 1 that went for 70-plus yards. He's averaging 2 touchdowns per game, 4 total through 2 games. He's really outstanding, and one of the things that I mentioned on the broadcast, and this isn't meant to be an insult, this is actually really complimentary, is the way he runs in games when he gets that football is kind of like when Forrest Gump did at Alabama. He just gets it, he's told to run, and he just turns on the burners.
That's the way Sammy is. He'll make one cut, and he'll go. He has the burners to be able to do that, and that's what's nice to him back there. We have to get the ball in his hand a little bit more this week, and hopefully he can have a good game this week too.
And I will say, it seems like Sam is a very good student of the game of football. Is that true?
Yeah, he's a very smart kid. I mean, he watches film, keeps up on everything, and he's a good student in the classroom too.
One of the things I've noticed is the passing game has been hit or miss. Luke has notched a couple really
beautiful passes. Then there are times where he'll either overthrow or underthrow, resulting in a turnover. And I'm sure one thing you'd like to limit is the turnover game.
Oh, definitely a turnover. We can't have no turnovers this week. We want to come out on top. We have to win the turnover battle. And Luke just needs to get out of the pocket. If he ain't nobody to throw to, instead of trying to force something, just run, use his legs. I mean, he's able to do that. We've seen that last year. He could run all over the field. So we're going to let him loose this week. If he can't see nothing, just let him go.
Have you talked with him at all about maybe trying to clear his head, get him back onto a level playing field, or is he kind of like that player that recognizes when he does, maybe he doesn't live up to the expectations, but he knows how he can overcome it?
Oh, he's definitely that player that recognizes what's going on, and he'll overcome it this week, and he should be fine.
Another individual standout that I've noticed, Nathan Morscheid. We didn't talk a lot about him last year. He was sort of in sparingly on some of these plays, but this year it seems like he's really grown. He's starting to find more tackles. When he's not going for a tackle, he's going for the ball, and he's one of those senior leaders too. Talk about how he's grown over the course of the years.
Oh yeah, he's a defense. He flies around the ball, makes the tackles. He's around the ball every time there's a tackle, either whether he's in on it, assisting on it. He just flies around on the defense, and he's playing great for us this year.
As a team, you're through 2 games. You've shaken off some of the rust. You've assessed some of the good areas and some of the bad areas. What stands out to you about your team? Are you impressed with the line play, the secondary on defense, wideout core? What are some of the things you're impressed with, and what are some of the things that you'd like to see improved?
The things I'm impressed with is everybody getting to the ball. Man, we have to make the tackles once we're there, but we have to get to the ball and make the tackles. Offense, I'm impressed with the running backs, the way they're blocking out of the backfield. In a scrimmage game, they were a little tough, but they got a lot better since then, and they're doing well in the backfield. The things we need to work on is the offensive line blocking, and like I said, once we get to the ball, we got to make the tackle, so we got to work on our tackling on defense.
This week's a good challenge for you guys. You go up against the Homer Center Wildcats in what a lot of people would consider to be a backyard brawl. Although you guys are playing in Saltsburg this year, it's still a rivalry nonetheless. And leading the Wildcats is head coach Greg Page, 17 years, longest active coach in the Heritage Conference, yes. And you know that he knows a thing or two about the Heritage Conference. What can we expect from Coach Page?
Oh, Coach Page will have those guys ready to play. They'll bounce back, try to bounce back this week. They had our number the last 2 years, like I told you earlier, and he always has those guys ready to play a physical game, and it's always a physical game with us and them.
Some of the projections came out for this game, and 3-1. We'll just keep it basic. 3-1. You guys are picked as the underdogs. A lot of people are favoring Homer Center in this matchup, but we were talking off the record. You guys like playing as an underdog mentality. Why is that?
We like the underdog mentality. Everybody's counting us out from last year's record, and I don't blame them. We're just here to show them. We'll show them on Friday night.
And they're led by their quarterback, Angelo Alexander. Last year, sidelined a couple of weeks with a couple of concussions, couple injuries. He's back this year for his second straight year, and you know he can air it out or he can keep it on the ground as well.
Yeah, he's real good. He can go both ways, just like our quarterback. He can either throw it through the air, like you said, and run. And he has great vision downfield, and he got a lot bigger and faster in each game. It seems like he's getting better and better, so we're going to have our hands full with him.
Are there any other notable players aside from Angelo on Homer Center that you guys are really keeping your eye on?
Landon Hill. Landon Hill ran over us last year. I know they got a different offensive line, but that offensive line looks pretty good for them this year, so we have to keep an eye on Landon Hill. Now, they got a nice tight end, that Palmer boy. He's a good kid there. He's a big boy. We have to keep our eyes on him, too.
We're talking with Coach Jess Hauser on his weekly show here on Rented Digital TV and our Indiana Total Therapy pregame show, and also on the radio side. Coach, before we sign off here and head things into kickoff for tonight, give me a couple of keys to a River Valley win.
Win the turnover battle on the field position. That's it. Win turnover battle field position.
Keeping it simple. All right, Coach, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Jess Hauser show on our Indiana Total Therapy pregame report. More of our ITT pregame show coming up next on Rented Digital TV and Cat Country 106.3, and also on News Talk WCCS.
Don't miss the biggest floor sample sale Dowd's Furniture has had in years. We're cleaning out all the shelves and filling both stores with over $4 million of inventory available for immediate delivery. Sofas, recliners, sectionals, bedroom and dining room furniture, plus lamps, pictures, and accessories, all available now. Hurry in and don't miss out at Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Robindale and its affiliated companies are proud to be a sponsor of all student athletes in the area. For nearly 2 decades, Robindale has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot and scar the western Pennsylvania landscape. To reclimate and beautify these areas, Robindale believes deeply in safety, compliance, and community responsibility. If you would like to become a part of the Robindale team, you can contact them at 814-446-6700, extension 122, or see how Robindale can assist your business at robindale.com.
Best wishes from the Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Company of Gregory and Martin. Now's the time to have your heating and cooling system checked. If you're having trouble with pipes or drainage, contact Gregory and Martin. Gregory and Martin will get to the problem and get it fixed right. For all your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs, contact Gregory and Martin in Blairsville. PA number 5726.
Hi, Nick Moore, head coach of the state runner-up Homer Center Lady Wildcats. When I'm not game prepping with the girls, I'm creating financial game plans at Walbeck Insurance. We take time to learn about your specific needs to create a game plan tailored just for you, whether it is auto, home, life, health, or business insurance. Come see me, Nick Moore, at Walbeck Insurance, where we offer more choices, more savings.
Call 724-479-9378 to let Coach Nick make a game plan for you.
Hi again, everybody. Mark Burdick as we come back to Trojan Stadium here in Saltsburg on our ITT pregame show. We welcome you back as we simulcast on WCCS, WLCY, and our video stream on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. It's time for the head coach Greg Page show, presented and insured by the Walbeck Insurance Agency of Homer City. More choices, more savings. Give Rob Walbeck and his team a call or visit them online at walbeckinsurance.com. Coach, 56-33. Do those numbers mean anything?
You're talking about the 2020 season, the last time we went to Saltsburg. So, yeah, I forgot how high the score was, but yeah, it was. That's 3 years ago. So good memories there. A lot of good, some strange games with Saltsburg over the years, especially down at their place. So I'm excited to go back.
You know, October 9th of 2020 to be exact. You probably thought, well, maybe a year later, you thought, well, we won't be going back to Saltsburg again.
That's what I thought, yeah. But the tables have been turned in that regard, and as River Valley, awaits their new project to be done. So, hey, we'll go wherever. We just want to play.
Greg, tough loss last week at home to Penn's Manor, 42-35. The kids really battled and showed character, but they came up short. Any reflections?
Yeah, I mean, first credit goes to Penn's Manor. They were ready to execute much better than we were. We had some issues with alignment, and then I felt like we had some issues at times defensively with effort. So, when you have that, you have a young team, and Penn's Manor runs their sets really well. So you have to regroup from that, and now you play a different style with a team that's going to want to try to come right at you with some good athletes and some nice size. So I liked our response this week through practice. I mean, it's all you can do. You have to come back and get to work. Leadership has to show and come to the forefront. I believe that has. And, you do that, and you kind of hope for the best for Friday nights.
The heat, by the way, this past week forced you into a couple of evening practices. I stopped by, and your kids seem to have showered the loss off, which I think they sometimes do it easier than the coaching staff, right? But it looked like a couple of spirited practices the limited time I was there.
I think so. I mean, Wednesday practice, at the end we had some competition against our first D from inside the red zone. We call it the red zone or goal line challenge, and we got scored upon once because we have some good guys on the other end. I thought really that our scout teams this week, both sides of the ball, did a really nice job of challenging us and battling, and you don't want to go up there in your practices and have those situations become too easy, and they made us work, so hopefully that pays off.
Well, let's talk about the scouting report on the River Valley Panthers. The first time you'll play them on the road. You defeated them the first 2 years since the consolidation, both at Memorial Field and Homer City. You're 1-1, they're 1-1. What do you see from the Panthers?
I really like them. I see, they got a nice size roster. They got good kids. They got good kids up front with some size. They got really good skill guys. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing Luke Woodring pop up. I thought maybe by now he would have graduated. But, you got him and guys like Yanitz, Whitmer, and Burkhart that run the ball. They got some nice skill guys on both sides of the ball out wide. And the Barnellini kid is one example of a handful up front. So, I think both games we watched in the scrimmage, they play with a lot of energy, and that's a tribute to their program and things like that. So we got to be ready for it. They're coming back home, and they looked excited the first home game against Township there. I don't expect anything less tonight, and we got to be ready to rise up to that.
And that energy and spirit that you allude to might be a byproduct of the depth being a larger school. And I know just preparing for the broadcast, they do have kind of a stable of running backs that they can throw at you.
They do, and they run hard, and they're athletic too. And, the thing of it is with that, I saw a lot through the video that we watched about, they're platooning some people and substituting quite liberally, especially on the defensive side, to get some fresh guys in there. So they have a lot of confidence in their people.
Defensively, they have struggled a little bit, allowing 373 yards a game. They had a tough night at the office against Purchase Line. What do you see from them on that side of the ball that has given them problems?
I didn't realize the numbers were as they were. I know Purchase Line hit some big plays on them. Purchase Line runs a real effective offense every year, and they have a veteran presence there. But I see an aggressiveness on defense that concerns me, because those are the kind of things where, you worry about picking people up or getting to where you need to be. So I see size and athleticism on that defense, which is, like I said, a concern. And we just got to keep trying to do what we've been doing offensively. We found ways. Our young guys up front have been battling, getting a little bit better. It's going to be a battle in the trenches. They need to be up for that.
Kicking game coach, finally. Hey, your young kicker, Brady Frazier, 8 of 9 in the PAT department. They have a sophomore kicker, I hope I'm saying the name right, Cole Heckatham, who has kicked some extra points and has a 29-yard field goal to his credit. And you just never know. Those little things really can make the difference in a game.
I agree. Yeah, for two young guys, it's pleasing to see. Even with their guy, I'm happy for that. Brady's been a nice addition for us, and he's an athlete too. But he's handled some things early on where there has to be pressure just because you're new to the varsity scene. But I'm pleased with that so far, and we want that to continue.
Coach, good luck here tonight at Trojan Stadium. A little take you back in time night here in Saltsburg tonight, and we wish you the best against the Panthers, and we'll talk to you on the postgame show. We might even do you a favor and do it from down on the field with the wireless because of the cramped spaces.
Well, that works. I finally got a new pair of shoes. Now you're not going to make me walk upstairs, but I don't know if those steps, they might be kind of crickety there. I don't know what, I haven't been there in a couple of years, but I appreciate that. I really do.
Head coach Greg Page, presented by the Walbeck Insurance Agency. We're going to come back. Jake will rejoin me in the booth at Saltsburg. The Panthers and the Wildcats on Cat Country 106.3 WCCS and Renda Digital TV, all as we continue on the ITT pregame show on the Renda Media Football Network.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club invites you to take a look at the club voted Best in Indiana County 2023. Inside, you can find members unwinding with friends and enjoying delicious food like their homemade pizza. You can relax in the club by playing darts, pool, or shuffleboard. The club is a great place to watch your favorite team with family and friends. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club on Neal Road in Grayston.
So what sets S&T apart from other financial institutions is that they are visionary. Now, we understand that it is partially about the numbers, but they know it's not just about the numbers. It's about the management team, it's about the strategic and business plan, it's about how the team is going to execute on that. In short, S&T gets it. Quite honestly, we couldn't have done it without S&T.
Football fans across the county, did you know
Citizens Ambulance Service has been providing our community with professional emergency medical services for 59 years.
Citizens' 1,000 square mile service area includes 7 school districts and 47 municipalities.
They partner with local fire departments and individuals to have medically trained responders at your door as quickly as possible.
Citizens has responded to 5,400 emergency calls so far this year.
The Citizens Ambulance Board of Directors thanks you and reminds you that community support makes it work.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, drive off in a new F-Series truck, Ford Ranger, Ford Maverick, or the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Check out the Ford Bronco, Bronco Sport, Eco Sport, Escape, Explorer, Expedition, Edge, and Mustang Mach-E. And always look at the exciting Ford Mustang. Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations, Route 119 Homer City and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg. LutherFord.com.
Welcome you back to our Indiana Total Therapy pregame show, getting the table set, rounding third prior to kickoff tonight at the top of the hour between two rivals, Homer Center and River Valley. Welcome back into the S&T Bank broadcast booth. S&T Bank, People Forward Banking. Mark Burdig alongside me. I'm Jake Slobodnik, and it's time for Keys to the Game, driven by Luther Ford Lincoln and the Luther family of dealerships, including the new Luther Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria. Mark, there's a lot of things that Homer Center needs to do right tonight. What are some of the top ones?
Well, I think they have to establish their running game. They're only averaging 129 yards of rushing in their first two games, 187 yards passing. So I would put that as one of the keys here for Homer Center. Get the running game going. Hopefully the passing game can loosen that up. And then defensively, they have to stop the run. And they had a lot of trouble with that. If River Valley watched last week's game tape, they're going to be running some sweeps tonight, probably try to get their quarterback Woodring out on the edge.
Yeah, and Luke Woodring, a couple interceptions in his first couple of games. I think he's going to have a clean game tonight. That's one of the keys for River Valley. I think they also need to capitalize on any time they can get some points on the board. A couple times over the past two games, Cole Hackathorn has struggled on extra points to notch one through. I assess that just to him being young and new to the position. I think now in his third game, I think he's going to be fine. He notched his first field goal of the season in his the high school career last week, a 29-yarder at Purchase Line, so congratulations to him. But, as for River Valley, they need to capitalize anytime they are in the red zone or they're ready to score, because missed opportunities are going to come back to bite them. Last but not least, keep your cool. Over the past couple of games, we've seen a couple unsportsmanlike penalties for River Valley, and things have gotten chippy, especially last week against Purchase Line. If they can keep their cool, I think they'll be fine. Those are our keys to the game, driven by Luther Ford Lincoln and the Luther family of dealerships. We're coming back on our Indiana Total Therapy pregame show with starting lineups, and we'll check in with Ward Hilliard down there on the sidelines. All that and more before kickoff on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
At Grand Beginnings Children's Center,
okay, this
their
is a
focus is
2-minute
on
break,
growing
John.
and teaching
2 minutes.
children to be the best they can be.
4:30s.
They know children need education, inclusion, and safety. Grand Beginnings has a mission to provide a warm and nurturing environment in At Grand Beginnings Children's Center, their focus is on growing and teaching children to be the best they can be. They know children need education, inclusion, and safety. Grand Beginnings has a mission to provide a warm and nurturing environment in which each child can grow physically, emotionally, socially, intellectually, and spiritually. Grand Beginnings Children's Center with 2 locations in Indiana, teaching children to shine since 1991. Call 724-463-1819. Find them at grandbeginnings.net.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your local Erie agent is William G. Meckling Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 724-465-4261 or visit mecklinginsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
The Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club was founded 65 years ago to support and sponsor a startup midget football program. Some 65 years later, the Boosters have grown and now serve as the primary recreational arm of the Homer Center School District, sponsoring various sports such as baseball, softball, elementary boys and girls basketball, and yes, Bears football remains the foundation for our Varsity Wildcats program, teaching the basic skills to our children. Go Bears and go Wildcats from the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club.
Don't miss the biggest floor sample sale Dowd's Furniture has had in years. We're cleaning out all the shelves and filling both stores with over $4 million of inventory available for immediate delivery. Sofas, recliners, sectionals, bedroom and dining room furniture, plus lamps, pictures, and accessories, all available now. Hurry in and don't miss out at Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
With a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Maine's Chiropractic. And with those starting lineups, here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdig.
All right, River Valley's offense averaging 22 points a game, 284 yards of offense per game. They're a -1 in the giveaway takeaway department. They've turned it over 5 times with 4 takeaways. They'll start Jake McKnight at left tackle, a senior 6'2", 212. At left guard, Tashawn Hawkins, a senior 5'9", 242. Freshman center Zeke Doak. I watched some video. He looks good. 5'7", 223-pounder. Right guard is Joey Biddick, a 5'11", 200-pound senior. And the anchor on that line is Don Bartolini. Seems like he's been around forever. Senior, 6'1", 270. Quarterback Luke Woodring, a senior, 6'1", 175, has completed 10 of his 22 attempts for 176 yards. At running back will be Sam Yanitz, a junior, 5'11", 173. The fullback is Quentin Whitmer, a senior, 6 foot 200. You'll also hear Gavin Burkhardt's name at the running back, a junior, 6 foot 201. Tight end is Merrick Smith, a 6'2", 200-pound junior, and Dom Spiel, a receiver, senior, 5'11", 165 pounds. Caden Versalovic will also get some time at wideout. For the Wildcats, averaging 32 points a game and 316 yards of offense. They're a -1, very little. They haven't forced any turnovers, and one single turnover in their 2 games. That came last week, and Penns Manor made them pay. They fumbled the opening kickoff. At left tackle, Eli Butterly, a junior, 5'10", 238. At left guard, Josh Voluchik, a junior, 5'9", 173. The center, Zach Wilson, 5'9", 233. He's a junior. Right guard is Caden Bernard, a senior, 5'9", 196. At right tackle, Garrett Green, a 6'2", senior, 218 pounds. Tight end is Caleb Palmer, 6'1", senior, 206 pounds. The quarterback is Angelo Alexander, a junior, 6'3", 154. Landon Hill at running back, a 6'1", senior at 209. Wideouts, Will Jones, a junior, 6 foot, 152. And also Braden Dunn in the slot, a junior, 5'9", 171. Starting lineups brought to you by Maine's Chiropractic. Let's go down to Ward Hilliard. He'll stick his mic into the huddle here and see if we can pick up the coin toss.
Remember, the most important thing there is let today's contest reflect mutual respect. Play hard, play the whistle, help each other up, roll off, get the ball back to the official. All right, be smart. We flipped the coin. You guys won the toss. You elected to defer, correct? Sure. All right, let me use your shoulder pad. Okay, so white, you want the ball, right? Yes, sir. Black, you're going to kick away from the scoreboard, yes, right? So black, you're going to line up by the umpire. White,
well, there you have it. That pretty much cut and dry. As you know, they do the coin toss prior to this. It's ceremonial. But the Wildcats will receive. River Valley has deferred. We're about ready to rock and roll. Incidentally, this field's in pretty doggone good shape. Not a lot of bare spots, not a lot of low spots. I kind of like it. Back to you, fellas.
All right, Ward, thanks so much. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll come back with kickoff, sponsored by Grand Beginnings Children's Center on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Sports are fun. They're exciting.
Okay, probably just 1:30.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Don't miss.
We're ready for kickoff tonight from Saltsburg between Homer Center and River Valley. The Panthers will do the opening kickoff, and they are dressed in their all-black uniforms with blue trim and white numbers. Homer Center, their white tops, black numbers, and black pants with white trim. River Valley operating left to right across your radio dial or viewing screen, whichever one you may prefer. And tonight's opening kickoff brought to you by Grand Beginnings Children's Center. Get your children ready to shine at Grand Beginnings. Cole Hackathorn tees it off, and a short kick to start things off, and a fair catch at around the 43 by number 5, Deegan Fedoric. And that's where things are going to start off tonight. Folks, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's game, want to let you know the gold standard of care at IRMC at Chestnut Ridge in Blairsville is once again not gone unnoticed. IRMC at Chestnut Ridge voted the best urgent care and walk-in clinic in the Best of Indiana County contest. So here we go. We got the Homer Center Wildcats starting things off with the rock. Ball will be placed at the near side hash on the left side at around the 43-yard line. And under center for the Wildcats, Angelo Alexander in his second center at the helm. Shotgun set. Right beside him, Landon Hill. Trips to the far side, handoff, goes to Hill, and he's hit immediately. Might have progressed for a yard. Nope, they're going to say that he was stopped right at the line, and right inside there was Michael Wayno, number 56, and a couple other Panthers were there to help him.
They completely blew that play up. A loss of a yard for Landon Hill. Hill coming into tonight's action, 33 rushes, 135 yards, 4.1 average.
2nd and 11, actually lost a yard from shotgun set against sidecar to Alexander's right. Looking for a screen pass on 2nd down. It is converted. It's number 22, Jackson Arone.
33.
And on the tackle is number 33, Quentin Whitmer. Normally does a lot of blocking on the offense, but this time gets in there on a tackle.
Homer Center's thrown a lot more underneath passes. That little bubble screen there to Arone is a play they scored a touchdown on against Marion Center, and they ran it for a fairly decent gain last week against Penns Manor. But Blairsville, or River, I knew I'd do it at least once, River Valley, you think after year 3 you wouldn't. River Valley has Homer Center in the position they'd like to have them in, 3rd down and long.
73 degrees tonight, very warm night here in Saltsburg on 3rd down and 9, ball at the 44 on the far side hash this time. Alexander in shotgun set, sidecar to his left, trips to the right side, not a lot of room over there, drops back to pass, looking long, he's sensing some pressure, and he is sacked in the backfield. That on the sack, number 74, Dom Bartolini. We talked about him in the pregame show, and he makes his presence known on defense there on 3rd down.
That was a coverage sack there, Jake. The secondary did a pretty good job, and one of the normal secondary players for River Valley, Sean Shirley, is in street clothes tonight, so they had to replace a cornerback. Sean Shirley just came behind us and went up in stairs to the upper level.
Brady Frazier, the punter for Homer Center. Decent snap, takes a couple of steps, and he boots this one away. Back to return it, looks like Dom Spiel. He waves for a fair catch, and it'll be converted at around the 32-yard line. That is where River Valley will set up shop on their first offensive drive, and they're looking for much better fortunes than last game, under or at 200 yards of total offense. Not a pretty night for River Valley last time out against Purchase Line, but the height differential really played its role, and River Valley was stopped short, and they look to convert again. Go ahead.
33-yard punt for Frazier, his 2nd of the season. 2 good young kickers here for both of these teams.
Luke Woodring commanding the offense for River Valley in shotgun set, sends Sam Yanitz in motion from left to right. It's a design quarterback keep, gets a couple of blocks, he finds some real estate. He's at the 50, he started at the 33, he's at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Panthers. Luke Woodring takes it all the way for a Panthers score, and they only needed one play to take a lead against the Homer Center Wildcats.
67 yards on that touchdown run, and that's what Homer Center struggled with last week. They've struggled with it actually quite a bit in recent times. Last year's rushing defense was pretty good, and Ward Hilliard, pretty much what we saw last week.
Yeah, you got 2 lead blockers and the quarterback running. There's nothing fancy about it. He wasn't touched. That was a beautiful replay, and the kick looks up and good.
Cole Hackathorn 1 for 1 with an extra
That's not
point
the kind of start you wanted, Mark.
No, but if you're River Valley, that's exactly what you want.
Exactly.
With 9:54 to go in the first quarter play, it's 7-0 River Valley. The impending kick coming up next on an IRMC High School football sports night on the IRMC High School or Renda Media Sports Network.
Don't miss the biggest floor sample sale Dowd's Furniture has had in years. We're cleaning out all the shelves and filling both stores with over $4 million of inventory available for immediate delivery. Sofas, recliners, sectionals, bedroom and dining room furniture, plus lamps, pictures, and accessories, all available now. Hurry in and don't miss out at Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall is located on the grounds of the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club, featuring everything you need to make your next event shine. Inside the club, you can find members unwinding in the spacious bar and game room, enjoying great food and just gathering with each other watching their favorite team. The Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club in Twin Cities Event Hall, voted best in Indiana County 2023.
For the impending kickoff, River Valley taking a 7-0 lead in the first possession of the game for them, much like last week. Hackathorn's kick goes farther than last time, back to return it for the Wildcats, number 32, Brian Mills. And he's hit almost around the 30, and he's pushed back to the 25. Nathan Morscheid in there on the stop. Boy, I'll tell you what, River Valley looks like they've come to play tonight, and they asserted that on offense. A one-play, 67-yard drive. All those yards accrued on the feet of Luke Woodring, his longest rush of the season and his first rushing touchdown of the year.
Very impressed how River Valley's flying to the ball. They're playing with a lot of aggression tonight. I know that's something head coach Greg Page of Homer Center has not been happy with, his team's aggressiveness, and that's something they talked about earlier this week at practice. But credit the Panthers. They've come out flying here tonight.
Homer Center back out there for their second offensive drive. Stalled at 3 and out last time out. Alexander back out there in shotgun set to Landon Hill. The sidecar to his right. Finds a little bit of running room, and then he's finally stopped after a couple of yards. Dom Bartolini extending his paw and bringing him down, helping him to bring the paw down as there was a pole of River Valley players there. Minimal gain, about 3 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 7. Homer Center wasting no time. Alexander once again shotgun set, double wides to the right side. Ball on the left side hash, the near side facing us. Alexander, play action, screen pass to the right, screen pass number 34, Braden Dunn. He makes forward for a couple of yards before he's brought down by Luke Woodring. He didn't get the first, but he's much closer to the chains.
Dunn has been a good weapon. He's actually a good running back, but tough to get time back there. He has 10 receptions already this season, make it 11 after that one.
3rd and 4 at the 9-minute mark here in quarter number 1. Alexander takes a snap, hands it off to Landon Hill, and again, River Valley right there, stopping every gap, and right there on the stop, number 15, Gavin Burkhart. So again, here comes a 4th down. Dom Bartolini also in on the stop, and it brings up a big 4th and 4 on the far side hash.
Ward, I thought for a moment Greg Page was going to go for it, but he sends out the punt team and his young freshman punter.
Brady Frazier again out there, his second punt of the day. Sam Yanitz and Dom Spiel back to return. 8:29 and counting in the first quarter. 7-0 River Valley with the lead. And a flag on the play. Wonder if this is a false start on Homer Center. We'll get the call here in just a moment.
Illegal substitution. That's going to give Homer Center an automatic first down.
And Jess Hauser talking to the near side judge. Even assisting by picking up his flag, trying to get an explanation. But yeah, again, easy first downs given up by the River Valley defense. And we saw it right there. They had to get out of jail free card. And then just careless mistakes put them on the opposite side. And Homer Center, they benefit from it, a free first down at 8:20 and counting. Now, no play clock here at Saltsburg, so we won't be able to bring you that. But either way, first down. Alexander with a sidecar to his left, stands in man in motion, right to left. It's a jet sweep. Back going to Dunn. Powers forward a couple of yards. Got about halfway, maybe a little bit more. Caden Barnhart in on the stop, along with now several of his battering mates.
Pretty good gain. That's a win on first down for Homer Center. 7 yards. 2nd down and 7. One of the few carries for Dunn this season.
2nd and 4, they mark it at the 7:44 marker. Alexander once again shotgun set. Probably going to see him go to that all night long. Handoff goes to Landon Hill, takes it on the right side. He's met by black jerseys, but he finds a little bit of running room. Might not have got the first. Joey Beddick in on the stop. Might be a yard or two, maybe even a couple inches shy of the first. Oh, it's going to be
half a yard.
Wow. Couldn't have been any closer to a first down. Brings up a 3rd and millimeter.
Wildcats going no huddle, working very quickly. Tight end left is Caleb Palmer, if you're watching.
Double wides to the right, ball on the right, on the far side hash at the 49. Handoff goes to Landon Hill. It's an easy first down. Needed 1, got about 4. They'll tread in Panther territory for the first time tonight. Noah Ripple in on the stop. Ripple, a junior lineman, weighing 215, standing 5'10". Dom Bartolini trots off the field. Under 7 to play, 7-0 River Valley here in the first quarter, presented by Friends of Jim Struzzi. 1st and 10 at the 46, ball in between both hash marks. Alexander, a sidecar to each side, takes a snap, handoff. Now it might have been a broken play. River Valley read it. Alexander trying to get back to the original line, doesn't get there, loses yardage. Tash Hawkins able to bring him down, the senior lineman.
Not a broken play. That's that read option that Homer Center runs a lot. Jake, they fake the handoff. He pulls it out. He has the option of putting it in the belly of Landon Hill or pulling it out. He's to read the defense and give River Valley credit. Ward Hilliard, down to you real quick. Homer Center's offensive line, the backs really have been gaining the yardage. Not a lot of holes to be found.
And I'll tell you, you got to give credit to River Valley. They're just swarming to the ball. They have a lot more energy than what I see Homer Center
2nd and 12, Alexander back to pass. He fires it down the field. It's a 2-on-1 race, and it's in and off the hand of number 34, Braden Dunn, the intended target. There's some laundry on the field, and it's on the River Valley side of the ball.
Not sure what that penalty is unless it's a defensive hold or legal man downfield, I think, is maybe a preliminary signal.
Yep, that is it.
So the decision will be Third down and long, or do you back them up 10 yards and make it second and about 22?
Well, it looks like they're going to back them up, and they're going to put them on the opposite side of the 50 this time.
5-yard penalty, actually, so not 10. One of the rule changes this year, penalties behind the line of scrimmage, and that's not one of them. But if there's a hold or a clip, the penalty this year goes from the line of scrimmage and not from the spot of the foul. That's a great rule change by the PIAA for high school football.
2nd and 17 on the far side hash, 6:05 on the clock in the first quarter, 7-0 River Valley. Alexander drops back, looking to clear some yardage. It's a little screen pass. It finds Braden Dunn. He sheds one tackle. He's going to get the first down. He's at the 30, and he's pushed out of bounds at around the 27. So they faced a big red area, and instead they turn it into a first down. Luke Woodring able to push him out of bounds.
Going to be a gain of about 24 yards on that completion. Exactly 24 yards to the 28 of River Valley.
On the near side hash, 1st and 10 for Homer Center following the big gain. Under 6 at 5:56. Handoff goes to Landon Hill, tries to run up the middle. He drags Dom Bartolini on his back and powers forward for maybe a couple of yards. Bartolini in on the stop. And Gavin Burkhart also helping bring him down, and we're going to see a substitution for River Valley coming out. Number 78, Jake McKnight.
Jake, we have to do this. Our statistician in the booth, the only sponsored statistician in the league, is Jerry Rossai. Limo brought him, and our spotter, thank you, Jim McLaughlin, for giving us a hand here in the booth tonight. Our digital producer downstairs is John Smathers.
2nd and 5 after the halfway gain. The read option, it's a quarterback keep, and Angelo Alexander's going to get a first down and enter the red zone. He's pushed out at around the 15.5 maybe. Yep, John Smathers, our executive producer for Renda Digital TV, Michael Burdig, our studio engineer on the radio side, helping us bring this simulcast to you audibly. And we want to thank Owen Sayani, Homer Center senior, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Our cameraman for tonight.
Citizens Ambulance Red Zone trip number 1 for the Wildcats. Citizens Ambulance partners with local fire departments and individuals who have medically trained professional at your door as quickly as possible. Community support makes it work.
Jet sweep goes to number 19, Dan Jones, and he's going to go nowhere, and there's a late flag. Brad McDivitt on the initial stop.
Might be a face mask unless it's a hold on Homer Center.
It was thrown right next to the scrum. I would imagine at first glance face mask or illegal use of the hands, but
the way Homer Center is reacting, I think it's going to go against the Wildcats. Ward Hilliard, down to you on the sideline. Going to back Homer Center up.
Yeah, that's going to hurt them. I did not see the illegal, they call it illegal block in the back. I did not see that. It really cost them some momentum here. They had a nice little drive going. They're going to have to continue what they did before, Mark. I think a lot of intermediate passes to kind of get the running game going. We'll see what they do here.
Jake, they've backed the ambulance out of the red zone.
1st and 20 at the 26 on the far side hash, 4:53, a 7-0 affair for River Valley. Homer Center looking to knot it up. Dropping back to pass is Alexander. He senses some pressure. He rolls to his right, and he's going to just fire it out of bounds, trying to keep things where they are. It's going to bring up 2nd and 20 on the pressure, Brad McDivitt. And Quentin Whitmer also in there as well. Coming to you tonight from our S&T Bank broadcast booth, S&T Bank People Forward Banking, alongside Mark Burdig. And just about everybody could fit up here. I'm Jake Slobodnik, welcoming you to Saltsburg for tonight's rivalry matchup. Homer Center, River Valley. Rivalry really established between Homer Center and Blairsville before, but now that has since transitioned due to the consolidation of the Blairsville-Saltsburg School District. 2nd and 20, far side hash following the incompletion. Clock stopped at 4:44. Back to pass. Angelo Alexander rolls right, just trying to, he was able to find somebody. I thought he was just trying to check it down, but instead he finds a receiver. That is number 21, Caleb Palmer, and Dom Spiel in on the stop. So that takes away some of the yardage, doesn't get them quite back to the original line, brings up 3rd and just a little bit long.
He might kick a field there, too. Probably out of field goal range, but the Wildcats do possess a good young freshman kicker, Brady Fraser, who's converted 8 of his 9 field goals, or PATs this year.
3rd and 13 at the 18. They're back inside the red zone.
Look out for Will Jones here in this set.
We'll see what happens. Clock stop 4:36. Angelo with the sidecar to his left. Double wide to each side. Drops back looking for the end zone. No available option. He tucks it, runs to the right side, trying to get back to the original line, and he'll run out of bounds just before the first chain. And it'll bring up 4th and just a little long. Whitmer in on the pursuit.
82 on the assist, too.
So I would imagine if we're a little far out from field goal range, I think this is 4-down territory for Homer Center, but Mark, you would know that best.
Yeah, they have not attempted a field goal yet. I was at practice the other night. They were working on their kicking game under the lights. They practiced twice, Homer Center did, from 6:30 until about 8:45 because of the heat that we had.
Now it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there. Angelo with a sidecar to his left. Man in the slot, double wise to the left, one to the right. He drops back, 4th and 10 at the 18, looking left. He's got some field, passing toward the end zone. It is incomplete. On the coverage, Sam Yanitz, and intended receiver, Will Jones. Turnover on downs, 4:24 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 River Valley. Back in a moment on Cat Country 106.3 and the IRMC Rendon Media Sports Network.
At the Y, it's about more than sports and working out.
It's about making my community better.
Living a healthier life.
Milk every moment.
Football fans across the county, did you know?
Citizens Ambulance Service has been providing our community with professional emergency medical services for 59 years.
Citizens' 1,000 square mile service area includes 7 school districts and 47 municipalities.
They partner with local fire departments and individuals to have medically trained responders at your door as quickly as possible.
Citizens has responded to 5,400 emergency calls so far this year.
The Citizens Ambulance Board of Directors thanks you and reminds you that community support makes it work.
It's a true treasure in Blairsville, a style of eating that's rare, and that's the diner experience. Dean's Diner on Route 22 captures the mood and atmosphere of the old-fashioned family-style eating of the off-road diner. Scrumptious home-style meals you remember growing up with, capped off with Dean's Diner's famous assortment of homemade pies. Why not stop in after the game? Open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Dean's Diner, Route 22, Blairsville, the classic diner eating experience.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club invites you to take a look at the club voted best in Indiana County 2023. Inside, you can find members unwinding with friends and enjoying delicious food like their homemade pizza. You can relax in the club by playing darts, pool, or shuffleboard. The club is a great place to watch your favorite team with family and friends. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club on Neal Road in Grayston.
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
Whip kick, not going to go anywhere, and on the down return is Colin Doherty. Well, very simple scoring drive for River Valley. 2 plays, 84 yards, lasted under a minute at 52 seconds. And we talked with Ward Hilliard down there on the sideline, and that rushing attack for River Valley really working. Ward, I'm going to send it back down to you. What does Homer Center need to do on this drive in order to come up fruitful?
They didn't do what they did the last time, was move the ball but finish. They have got to score and keep that offense off the field. I'm not so sure they can stop this River Valley offense right now without a major adjustment.
3:33 to go in the first, 14-0 River Valley. Homer Center comes back out on offense, turned the ball over on downs, but they made good field progression last time out. On the far side hash, Alexander sends a man in motion from right to left. It's a fake jet sweep, and Alexander will hang on to it, but he's snuffed after 1 yard. Forward progression, not too sure who got their hand on it. They're going to say Quentin Whitmer got in on the stop. Brings up a big 2nd and 9 on the far side hash on the right side. Homer Center working right to left across your radio dial or viewing screen, whichever you may prefer or may be working with here tonight. And 2nd and 9, ball at the 38, deep in their own territory. 3-minute mark, come and gone. They're going to send trips to the left. 1 receiver in the slot, then 2 wideouts, 1 far side. Sidecar to Alexander's right. He drops back to pass. Looking for an immediate pass. He's got no option. He's booting left, sensing some pressure, and right there on the stop, 2 defenders. Don Bartolini is one of them. The other is Michael Waino, I think. And Alexander is down, and Jess Hauser immediately runs out, and he's waving on for the trainer. And oh no, this does not look good.
I was just coming up from down in the digital room, so I really didn't see the play. Ward Hilliard, it was right in front of you. What did you see?
Well, I think he got cracked pretty good in the ribs. I don't know if he got the wind knocked out of him. The tackle wasn't all that severe, but the hit was. When they went to the ground, it was not as bad as we've seen in the past. But he didn't move once he hit, so that's not good news.
Yeah, he is in some pain, but credit to Coach Jess Hauser of River Valley. As soon as the play was over, we saw him sprinting over there and waving for the athletic trainer, awaiting the word of what's going on with Angelo Alexander. But Mark, should Alexander exit the game, or at least sit out for a couple of plays, who's next in line?
Braden Dunn would assume the role, not a true quarterback by trade, more of a running back. When they got down to 3rd and 4th string last year with all of the injuries, Braden did an admirable job. They have a freshman quarterback, but he's out with a shoulder injury himself, young Aron. And so, yeah, the options are thin for quarterback. Jake, injury timeout. We'll take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a 30-second timeout, come back, and we'll give you the condition of Angelo Alexander. That's all coming up next. 2:38 injury timeout, 14-0 River Valley here in the first quarter of play on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
Looking to experience luxury with your next vehicle? Then look no further than Luther Lincoln. From the full-size Lincoln Navigator to the mid-size Lincoln Aviator or the Lincoln Nautilus and Corsair crossovers, Luther has the Lincoln you want. With complimentary pickup and delivery for service or being able to schedule your service appointments online, Luther Lincoln wants to make your experience a pleasant one. Luther Lincoln, your choice for Lincoln. Route 119, Homer City. Click on lutherlincoln.net.
Encouraging news to share. Alexander, after getting up, he is walking off. Very little assistance, so that's a good sign, Mark.
The River Valley trainer hopped out there, and Bob Rupert, the Homer Center trainer, came across and attended to him. Ward, I don't know if you got any feel. You were close to it. I don't know if you saw Angelo's reaction when he got up or not.
I think Ward's having a little bit of technical troubles with his headset down there. But Homer Center does take a timeout. And we just want to let you know, timeouts all season long, brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers. Stop by one of their 2 locations, either along Philadelphia Street or at the Indiana Mall. If you got somebody special in your life and you have a very important question to ask, stop by Luxembourg's. Let them help you out with that. 2:38 to go in the first quarter of play. Glad to have you along from our S&T Bank broadcast booth alongside the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdig. I'm the voice of the Panthers, Jake Slobodnik. Coming to you, big night here in Saltsburg. It's a rivalry matchup.
I think Ward's hearing us now. Ward, what did you see as he got up?
He was actually pointing to his chest on both sides, and I don't know. As you recall, Mark, he had a shoulder injury that was pretty bad last year. I don't know if that's what's causing it, but that's where he seemed to indicate the pain was. He walked off under his own power, but we're not going to see him tonight, I don't think.
Yeah, it's a shame. He's a talented player, but he's had trouble staying on the field, and taking hits like that doesn't help the cause, Jake.
No, it doesn't, and we're going to see Landon Hill in as pseudo quarterback, or at least
Braden Dunn.
Braden Dunn, that's right. My bad. Braden Dunn in at quarterback. From shotgun set, hands the ball off to Landon Hill, tries to move forward for a couple of yards. Might have got a couple. Joey Beddick in on the initial stop. And about a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage, brings up a 4th down and about 11. Ball will be placed to the near side hash, facing up. And Dom Spiel, Sam Yanitz go back to return the punt by the freshman punter Brady Frazier. Punter slash kicker, if you will. I guess I should just say specialist.
There you go. Aren't we all?
I know I'm special. We're all special. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 14-0 and a flag on the play. 14-0 River Valley with the lead.
Ward Hilliard will get quick comments from both coaches at halftime. Jess Hauser, I believe, will be first going off the field. And then Greg Page, when the teams come out of the locker room, try to get some kind of update on Angelo. But I agree with WA that we probably will not see Angelo Alexander again. 5-yard mark-off on Homer Center.
There's a false start. Clock will continue to run. 1:53 now brings it 4th and 16. Decent snap. Frazier, a couple steps, and the punt is blocked. Looked like Sam Ewing was in on the block, and Gavin Burkhardt actually in on the stop. And River Valley's going to have some really good field position here as they start off yet another drive. And they've been fruitful so far every time they've had the ball. Let's see if they can score. 1:44 before the end of the first period. 14-0 the Panthers lead it. Taking up at the 36 in between both hash marks in Wildcat territory.
I think Burkhardt on that block for River Valley, and the young freshman's going to learn that you can't autograph it. You have to get the ball and release it. He'll learn.
River Valley with Woodring under center. Man behind him is Yanitz. The pitch goes to him. He works the left side, trying to follow some blocks. Stiff arms one. He turns on the burners. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Panthers. Second drive tonight. They only needed one play to find pay dirt. And Sam Yanitz, after scoring 2 touchdowns in each of the first 2 games this season, he's picked up his 5th on the season, a 36-yard score. And he faced some traffic initially, but then, just like Forrest Gump, he turned on the burners.
Yeah, and I don't know if Braden Dunn got blocked or that quick cut left him on the turf, but it was well done by Sam Yanitz, who's a talented running back, he himself suffered through a season with injuries last year.
Yeah, that's right. A couple concussions and an initial early season injury. The extra point attempt by Heckathorn is up, and it's right down Broadway. 1:35 to go in the first quarter of play. The score 21-0 in favor of River Valley. We're back in 30 seconds on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Hello, this is Jay
and Shannon
from Hutton Blues Insurance. We pride ourselves on building strong personal relationships with our clients.
We are an independent agency offering you the best coverage at the best rate. When you buy insurance, whether it's for your home, car, business, or life, you want an advocate working in your best interests. And that's Hutton Blues Insurance, Route 119 North, just outside of Indiana.
We're also honored to have been voted in the top 2 insurance companies in the 23-24 Best of Indiana County contest.
Thank you, Indiana County.
Five seconds to play in the first quarter. 21-0 our score as Hackathorn tees things up. And Mark, looking down there on the field, River Valley just seems to have the defense's number.
Well, yeah. Needless to say, when you're scoring on one play, owning the line of scrimmage, Homer Center can't defend the edge, big plays, block punt, it all adds up to a 21-0 deficit.
Hackathorn drives this one deep, and it'll be returned at around the 15-yard line. Running up the middle is Brian Mills, and he gets down before being tackled around the 36-yard line. River Valley, I think, wants a late penalty. Nathan Morscheid in on the stop. Either they want a late penalty or they're celebrating that stop.
And a fumble.
Oh, a fumble on the play. I didn't even see that ball pop out. Ward, you're down there. Did that ball pop out?
Yeah, they were jumping around because they recovered a fumble. I didn't know if the player was down. Obviously, he's not. Look out, Loretta. River Valley's caught the ball again.
Familiar, and ironically, the same place as it was last scoring drive at the Homer Center 36, first and 10. They've scored on drives of 1, 2, and 1 play. Let's see if they can do it again. They lead 21-0.
Second time in as many weeks Homer Center has fumbled a kickoff. Last week it was the opening kickoff.
Under center is Luke Woodring. He's got 2 men behind him. It's Quentin Whitmer and Sam Yanitz. 1 receiver to each side. Handoff goes to the fullback Whitmer. Breaks the original line, makes forward progression. Doesn't make it to the first as Jackson Arone is in there to trip him up along with Landon Hill. About maybe, I would say,
assisted by Jackson Arone.
6, maybe 7-yard carry.
Gain of 6, second and 4.
Clock ticking, 70 seconds to play in this first quarter. Brought to you by Friends of Jim's Druzy. That's right, we're still in the first frame. 2nd and 4 coming up. They'll mark it a 6-yard carry. Ball will be down at the 30 as we're under a minute to play. Woodring back again under center. Wide out to each side. One of them, Dom Spiel. The other is number 20, Caden Breslavic. Another handoff to Whitmer. Breaks through, and he's going to get the first before being tripped up beyond the 25. Will Jones in there on the stop. Clock will stop for the moment as they adjust the chains. And now it continues to tick down at 42 seconds. Ball will be placed at the 23, 1st and 10. First downs all season long brought to you by InFirst Bank. Check out their rewards checking program today. Under 30 seconds to play, 21-0, River Valley leading. Closing in on yet what could be another score. Woodring under center. He's got Burkhart, lone man in the backfield. Extra help on each side and a wideout to each side. Man in motion, that's Whitmer. Pitch goes back to Burkhart. Follows a big block by Whitmer, but he's gobbled up almost a yard after he gets to the line of scrimmage. Isaiah McCracken in there on the stop along with Riley Cobaugh.
For the Wildcats.
That name sounds familiar. He's helped out with our Rented Digital TV productions before.
Well, Riley also kind of the stepson of our business manager, Lauren Marshall.
And that was the final play of the first quarter. We're ahead making our move to the second quarter of play in tonight's game. 21-0 at the end of 1. River Valley out in front. Back in a moment on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Have you dreamed of blazing fast internet speeds and unlimited data? Well, dream no more. Introducing SeaWorld, your gateway to a seamless online experience. Thanks to T-Mobile's revolutionary 5G internet, you can now get lightning-fast connectivity right in the comfort of your own home. And it's only $50 a month. For more details, call Brian, SeaWorld's friendly and knowledgeable sales representative at 724-463-3200, extension 122. SeaWorld, the future of internet is here.
Starting quarterback Angelo Alexander injured. He's in a sling across the way. A lot can happen to kids after hours. We know that, and not just on the gridiron. Babies get fevers. Children step on glass. Athletes twist their ankles. If your child or teen needs to get care and your doctor's office is closed, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge is open weekdays and weekends from 8 to 8. What a great idea when you need them. Since 2009, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville, where you can get in, get out, get better, a part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life. IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, voted best urgent care and walk-in clinic in the Best of Indiana County contest.
That was Mark Burdick. I'm Jake Slobodnik. Welcome you back for the second quarter of action from our S&T Bank broadcast booth. S&T Bank, people forward banking. River Valley leads at 21-0. And before we get started here with the second frame, let's check in on Ward Hilliard down there on the sidelines. Ward, actually hold on 1 second. River Valley just bursts out of the huddle. We'll get to you in a second. Woodring all by himself in shotgun set. First play of the second quarter coming up. Trips to the left, double wide outs to the right. Panthers now working right to left. Woodring firing toward the end zone. He's got a couple of options and incomplete. Intended for Nico Vidala. And in there on the stop is Riley Cobaugh. He was in the middle of traffic. Ward, take it down to you.
Well, thank you, Jake. I honestly don't recall a Homer team being down this bad in the first period, the way this game has rolled. And, I think they would encourage Woodring to pass the ball because they sure can't stop the run. And, the biggest fear we had was Alexander getting hurt. It all is coming to fruition here tonight.
All right, Ward, thanks so much. Ward Hilliard down there on the sidelines. As it's 3rd and 11 now for River Valley. I think it's the first third down they've seen tonight. Ball in the 15. They're inside the red zone. And man in motion. Pitch goes back to Yanitz, taking a couple of blocks, and he breaks through the gap easily at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Panthers. 15-yard touchdown rush by Sam Yanitz. Make it 3 games in a row. He's got 2 touchdowns at least.
Actually, a 25-yard effort for Yanitz, and they are blowing the doors wide open. This game could be heading toward the mercy rule here in the first half.
I don't think any of us expected that to happen.
No, I'm shocked, and I think both coaches would probably agree to that. Greg Page is going to be not real happy with his club's effort. I just don't see a lot of fire and desire out there for Homer Center.
Hackathorn on to attempt the extra point for River Valley. He's 3 for 3. The snap, the hold by Woodring, the kick on its way. It is a good one, and it is good. 11:46 to go in the first half. It's 28-0. It's all River Valley here in Saltsburg. We're back in a moment on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Hi, my name is Zachary, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. It's a Smith bus. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 6 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, equal opportunity employer.
Luxembourg's Jewelers, a proud supporter of all the area athletes, would like to wish the best of luck to all the Heritage Conference schools and, of course, the Indiana Little Indians this season. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts of any occasion. Show your school pride with gifts ranging from beautifully logoed coffee mugs, keychains, money clips, water bottles, and more. From the Indiana Mall to downtown Indiana, Kip, Jeff, and the Luxembourg's team wishes everyone an MVP season. Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
Rushing touchdown of 20-plus yards for Sam Yanitz. 25 yards, the entire drive, 5 plays, 36 yards. Took up 1:44. 2 first downs. They were one-on-one on third downs. Cole Hackathorn, a little line drive kick on the impending kickoff. Mishandled but picked up by the man in the back. That is Brian Mills, and he powers forward. Doesn't quite get to midfield as Nathan Morscheid able to bring him down at around the 40, maybe before that.
Brian Mills is a player I like, and one that's been a little underutilized in the first 2 weeks. He's a talented running back with maybe the best vision out of anybody on the Homer Center roster. And an inter-squad scrimmage, he was really impressive, and yet he's had very few touches I don't know, maybe Ward can remember, but I don't know that he's had a snap from scrimmage. Now he's in there now, so let's see what he can do.
11:40, 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. They're going to spot the nose right there in between both hash marks. Homer Center working left to right down 28-0. Landon Hill taking the snapper. Yep, and it's going to be handed back to Brian Mills. He's going to lose yardage. River Valley getting into the backfield quickly. Noah Ripple first to get him down there.
This line of Homer Centers, they knew it was going to be a work in progress and a promising start at Marion Center, but then Marion Center got thumped at Cambria Heights. The Wildcats were exposed by Penns Manor's experienced line, and they're getting tore apart, maybe even worse here tonight.
Speaking of Penns Manor, they're up 8-0 against Conemaugh Township, who River Valley saw back in week 1. Overcame them. 2nd and 12, ball 37 at the 11-minute mark here in the second quarter. Hill takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Mills, tucks it and runs, powers forward for maybe 2, maybe 3 yards before being brought down shy of the 40 at the 39.
Just nowhere to run.
Clock continues to run at 10:44. Michael Wayno in on the stop. Brings up a 3rd and 10 at the 40, just grazing that 40-yard line.
Keep in mind, this is a River Valley defense that has not been very good in the first 2 weeks. They have allowed 373 yards of offense per game, and they gave up over 500 last week, 280 against Conemaugh Township. But you wouldn't know it tonight. They look outstanding.
Oh, I think they kind of just they took their lumps last week. They came out with a fire in their heads tonight. We see it here, 28-0, shutting out Homer Center. 3rd and 10, Wildcats racing to the line of scrimmage. Double wide to the far side on the left. Landon Hill on the quarterback keep, gets back to the original line, powers forward for a couple yards. Joey Beddick in on the initial hit, and there's some extracurriculars going on just on the other side of the 50. No flags thrown. That'll bring up another 4th down, halfway to the sticks.
I would not be surprised if Homer Center goes for it, despite being throttled offensively. You can't stop them on defense, so it doesn't really matter if you give them a short field, a long field, or what have you. So here we go, 4th and 5.
They're going to try it here on 4th and 5, ball on their own 45 at the far hash. 9:30, 28-0, River Valley the score. Hill takes it, quarterback keeper, looking to run to the left. He's hit. And still powering forward, trying to break through. He's going to be stopped shy of the 1st down. Another turnover on downs by the Homer Center Wildcats, and another strong start for River Valley. Gavin Burkhardt able to prevent him from getting across the 1st down marker.
I mean, that's just a great effort. He tried doing it himself. Ward, you saw the effort from Landon Hill. There's no blocking, but he still picked up 4 yards, and it's a shame not getting any push at all.
Well, you're right. He's a great back, and we've seen him do great things, but he's just not getting the opportunity. And again, the credits has to be River Valley defense. They studied some tape. They prepped very well. There's not a play Homer's running yet that has caught them off guard. And they're just overwhelming them right now. It's both sides of the ball. That's the disappointment if you're a Wildcat fan.
River Valley sending their starters back out, up 28-0 at the 9:19 mark here in quarter number 2. Woodring all by himself in shotgun set. Sanders a man in motion. That's Dom Spiel on the jet sweep. Tripped up, and there's a flag on the play. Normally when it's thrown there, it's going to be a hold. It's thrown in the backfield. Will Jones in on the stop, able to trip him up. And we'll get just a moment to see what this flag is.
Holding. And that new rule change this year, this will go from the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 1st and 20. For most years, that would go from the spot of the foul. And it's a good rule change. I hated when teams would have like a 1st and 32 if there was a hole deep in the backfield. So I think this is a great rule for particularly high school football.
Score update from Andy Kuzneski Field. The Indiana Little Indians tied with Shady Side at 7. Shady Side a tier up, or maybe a couple.
Tier down.
Tier down, actually. Woodring taking the snap on 1st and long. It's a quarterback keep, but right there in the backfield to bring him down, Landon Hill. Big stop for Homer Center, their first big stop of the night.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised by that, actually, because Indiana started with a AAA school in Freeport and then played at their own level last year, but Shady Side Academy also a 3A, but then again, they're a private school, so they're probably not really a 3A.
8.5 to play in the second quarter. It's 2nd and 25 at the 35. Back deep in their own territory. Woodring under center. Two men behind him, a wide out to each side. Ball on the far side hash. The pitch goes back to Burkhart, trying to follow his blocks. Barely goes anywhere, if he even does make forward progress. Caleb Palmer right there among those able to bring him down.
So it'll be 3rd down and 25. Jake, we'll both be in action, different capacities, tomorrow at IUP, Hall of Fame Day. East Stroudsburg coming to Frank Signetti Field at Miller Stadium. Airtime will be 3:30. You'll be joined, of course, the legend, Jack Benedict, play-by-play, Pat Doherty on the color. You'll be roaming the sidelines, and I'll be doing public address. So we'll both be back in action tomorrow.
And I will be praying to the end of the above that the rain holds off until after the final down.
I'll be dry.
7:43, 3rd and 25, no gain. Woodring goes under center, fakes the handoff, play action, rolls right, gets a pass off. That to number 82. That is Merrick Smith running down the sideline on the far side. He gets all the way past the chains, and he's into Wildcat territory before Ocean Maratina able to bring him down.
Well, that's just inexcusable from Homer Center. I'll credit, if John down below is showing a replay, the play fake, Homer Center had no idea where the ball was. They had people in the backfield. They did not think that Luke Woodring had that football.
No,
and he booted to his right. Well-designed play, but Homer Center fooled very badly.
Passing play goes for 45 yards on the hands of Merrick Smith. That brings up a first down brought to you by InFirst Bank. Check out their rewards checking today. Under center, Woodring. Man behind him is Burkhart. Whitmer just off to the side, acting as a blocker. Handoff goes to Burkhart, powers forward, able to get the first, brings a couple defenders for him, and they're into the Citizens Ambulance red zone, down and around the 18. Caden McAnulty in there on the stop.
Caden McAnulty, a promising freshman for Homer Center, and he too will get better. The Wildcats only 5 seniors on this entire roster. River Valley, let me just check my chart here. On the offensive side of the ball, they're starting 7 seniors, 3 juniors, and the freshman center who's doing a nice job, Zeke Doak.
6:30 to go in the second quarter. We'll talk more about Doak and our Indiana Total Therapy halftime report coming up in just a little bit. Under center with a fresh set of downs at the 19. It's an option play. Woodring pitches it back to Burkhart. He's got some open real estate at the 10 and brought down at the 5-yard line. So a 14-yard carry by Gavin Burkhart, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Panthers at the 5.
Citizens Ambulance Service. Did you know Citizens Ambulance has been providing our community with professional emergency medical services for 59 years? Community support makes it work. Right around the corner, the Citizens Ambulance membership drive, and we need everybody to support it. It's coming up very, very shortly. There'll be more information coming on that membership drive.
Take a look at our First Commonwealth Bank quick stats. First Commonwealth Bank, pay fewer bills with the debt consolidation loan. Gavin Burkhart leading the rushing, 108 yards on 5 carries for River Valley and a touchdown. Sam Yannett's 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Under center, Luke Woodring goes 1st and goal at the 5. Ball on the near side hash at 5:40 to go in the half. Man in motion is Spiel. Fakes the handoff. It's an option play to the right. Woodring's going to tuck it. He's going to try to get across the goal line, and he does. A 5-yard score to make it a tentative 34-0 with 5.5 to go in the first half.
Just unbelievable. Homer Center, nobody out there, maybe one defender. I just don't understand conceptually what they're doing defensively, but whatever they're doing, it isn't working. It didn't work last week. It's sure as heck not working this week.
Cole Hackathorn out to attempt the extra point. And Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but if he makes this, we're in the mercy roll.
To start in the second half.
That's correct. I forgot about that. The snap, the hold, everything's fine so far. The kick is on its way, and Cole Hackathorn is 5 for 5 on extra points with 5:30 to go in the first half. It's River Valley 35 and Homer Center nothing on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Introducing the new Colonial Advantage at Colonial Auto Group. Our complimentary program with every new and used vehicle. 1 year of no-charge maintenance, meaning you can enjoy your new vehicle and let us take care of the rest. Plus, a lifetime warranty. That's a $2,500 value. The Colonial Advantage program is our way of giving you peace of mind with every Colonial vehicle purchase. Colonial Auto Group, home of the Colonial Advantage. Visit shopcolonialcars.com.
Don't miss the biggest floor sample sale Dowd's Furniture has had in years. We're cleaning out all the shelves and filling both stores with over $4 million of inventory available for immediate delivery. Sofas, recliners, sectionals, bedroom and dining room furniture, plus lamps, pictures, and accessories, all available now. Hurry in and don't miss out. at Dowds of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
Score update from Andy Kuzneski Field in the second period. Indiana leading Shadyside Academy 16-14. That game also being brought to you on Renda Digital TV. Here in Saltsburg on Renda Digital TV, WCCS Cat Country 106.3. Cole Heckathorn tees things off, his fifth kickoff or sixth kickoff tonight. This one, a low line drive kick, returned by one of the upmen at around the 26.
Braden Dunn.
That's done, and he's brought down at around the 35. 9, maybe 10 yards on the return. Nathan Morscheid in to bring him down.
We will have radio replays. Won't have to talk about long drives too much. I mean, they were quick drives.
Yeah, if we're putting it in perspective, it's from basically my house in Indiana all the way to the radio station. It's not long of a drive. Well, really, long drives at all for River Valley. The longest they've had. Most recent one, 6 plays, 49 yards on a 5-yard score.
Yeah, the others, like you said, 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown.
1st and 10 for Homer Center. They're just trying to cut into this deficit. They're still without their main starting quarterback, Angelo Alexander. Hill takes the handoff on 1st down in between both hash marks, powers forward, gets about halfway to the sticks, maybe a 6-yard gain before Michael Wayno brings him down.
Braden Dunn back in at quarterback, Jake. Braden is experienced enough, and he's a shortstop in baseball, so he is capable of throwing the ball.
2nd and 4, not wasting any time as we approach 5 minutes. And we're going to see a flag on the play. And it looked like Nico Videla was lined up on the Homer Center side of the ball. And, yep, offsides on River Valley. It's going to march him forward. And it's going to give Homer Center a free 1st down, brought to you by InFirst Bank. Check out InFirst Bank's rewards checking today.
Well, we were talking, thanks to the folks, Jerry, that brought us the food, the Point Street Tavern. We were enjoying our meal and said we're going to have a competitive game. We didn't know which way it would go, but nobody expected this.
35-0, 4:45 to go in the half. River Valley out in front. Dunn taking the snap, and the handoff goes to Hill. He's going to move forward. He's going to get just close to the sticks, maybe a yard shy, before tripped up by Caden Barnhart. Nice. And we have an injured Panther. That's number 14, Nathan Morscheid, one of the senior leaders on this team. And Jess Hauser, flashing it back to his football playing days, a dead sprint out to attend to Nathan Morscheid.
11-yard gain for Hill. That'll be a 1st down. And timeout on the field, injury timeout. So we'll take 1-2 with 4:35 remaining in the first half. 35-0 Panthers on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your local Erie agent is William G. Meckling Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 724-465-4261 or visit mecklinginsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
He'll be replaced. Following the injury timeout, clock still rolling, 4.5, 35-0, River Valley leading Homer Center. Wildcats, handoff goes to Landon Hill, who's on the far side before being brought down by Dom Bartolini. Minimal gain, maybe 2, possibly 3 if that. And Brad McDivitt also in on the stop.
I want to thank John Smathers, our digital manager. He was here before me at about 2:30 or 3 o'clock. Very tight quarters. John's actually 2 or 3 levels down from us. Our cameraman, as Jake mentioned, Owen Cyani, up above us. But we're making it work. But great effort. It was very, very hot. We were both soaked. Then Joe Buck arrived.
That I did. Under 4 minutes to play, 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard carry. Dunn's going to keep it himself, shed a couple of tackles. He's going to get past the sticks and be brought down just around the 33-yard line of River Valley. Sam Ewing in on the stop. Homer Center trying to make it a score before the half.
Homer Center's had a little bit of success, Ward Hilliard, off that left side, finding a couple of creases.
A couple counters also have shown some promise. The problem is consistency. Can you keep doing that and go the next 33 yards? A score would be important, I think, just for their morale.
Ward Hilliard down there on the sideline giving us a couple of updates here and there.
Jess Hauser will visit with him briefly when we get to the half.
1st and 10, ball at the Panther 33 on the far side hash. 3:15, snap goes to Dunn. He's going to keep it rolling to the left, and River Valley able to stop him after a minimal yard gain, maybe 3 on that. And Micah Griffith in on the stop, the senior defensive back, brings up a 2nd and I want to say 7. Now they're going to mark it 2nd and 8.
Sometimes there's trap games, Jake, on a schedule. Maybe United Valley a trap game. At the half, Conemaugh Valley not expected to be very good. As a matter of fact, they are picked to finish last in the Heritage. It's 12-8, United Valley at the break.
United Valley picked to finish first in our preseason poll, and as Mark said, Conemaugh Valley picked to finish last. Nobody expected that. 2.5 to play. Handoff goes to Landon Hill on 2nd and 8. Ball on the far side hash at the Panther 30. Trudges forward for a couple of yards before being caught up in a pile of Panthers. Merrick Smith able to get a hand on it. Same with Caden Barnhart. Brings up a 3rd and short. Maybe about 4 or 5 to the sticks. Tash Hawkins will come off along with Micah Griffith. Big 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 4, they're going to mark it at the 2-minute mark. Coming up at the halftime intermission, as Mark said, Ward Hilliard will chat with Panthers coach Jess Hauser. You got to think he's liking what he's seeing tonight. We're also going to have our Indiana Total Therapy halftime report, radio replay, stats, and so much more coming up at the half. Braden Dunn, again at quarterback and shotgun set. Side Carter was right, wide receiver to each side. The handoff goes to Landon Hill. Powers forward trying to reach for the sticks, almost like an Antonio Brown against the Baltimore Ravens a couple of years back. And it looks like he picks up another in first bank first down. Check out their rewards checking today. Jack Rummel for River Valley in on the stop. Nathan Morscheid still being tended to on the bench. He's got 2 coaches and a trainer. We have an update on that. We'll pass it along to you. Fresh set of downs at the 22, a minute 20 to play in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for Homer Center. Snap, corralled, goes to Landon Hill on the handoff. Powers forward a couple of yards. Homer Center has 2 timeouts left before the half. River Valley has all 3. Noah Ripple in on the stop for the Panthers on that run. Doubtful the Panthers would use any of their timeouts. Homer Center might just to get their guys a breather. Under a minute to play at 58 seconds. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7 at the 19. Inside the red zone. Snap. It's going to be a quarterback kip by Dunn. Powers forward to the left, minimal gain, maybe 3 yards on it. Gavin Burkhardt in on the stop for River Valley. And clock will continue to roll, under 40 seconds to play. Quick substitution for River Valley as Michael Wayno hustles onto the field. And coming off is Noah Ripple. 30 seconds to play, and Homer Center is going to call a timeout. We'll take one with them. Timeouts all season long brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers. Stop by one of their 2 locations along Philadelphia Street or the Indiana Mall, both in Indiana. With 28 seconds to go in the first half, it's River Valley 35, Homer Center nothing on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
The Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of our local teams and a proud supporter of American Legion baseball, is pleased to be part of today's playoff baseball games and wishes the best of luck to all the athletes participating. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They're a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams, from your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Robindale and its affiliated companies are proud to be a sponsor of all student athletes in the area. For nearly 2 decades, Robindale has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot and scar the western Pennsylvania landscape. To reclimate and beautify these areas, Robindale believes deeply in safety, compliance, and community responsibility. If you would like to become a part of the Robindale team, you can contact them at 814-446-6700, extension 122, or see how Robindale can assist your business at robindale.com.
The Wildcats in the red zone, 3rd and 5 at the 17, looking to score before the halftime intermission. We'll bring you some scores here in just a second. One game hasn't even started yet in the Heritage Conference, and we'll tell you more next. Dunn with the snap. Handoff goes to Landon Hill, powers forward. He didn't pick up anything. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 5. That game we were talking to you about as Caden Barnhart was in on the stop, that game we were telling you about, Cambria Heights and Portage, hasn't even started yet due to lightning, and there's another timeout on the field. We'll take one with them all season long, brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers. 18 seconds to play in the half. It's 35-0 River Valley on an IRMC High School Sports Night, the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
So what sets S&T apart from other financial institutions is that they are visionary. Now, we understand that it is partially about the numbers, but they know it's not just about the numbers. It's about the management team, it's about the strategic and business plan, it's about how the team is going to execute on that. In short, S&T gets it. Quite honestly, we couldn't have done it without S&T.
People Forward Banking, Mark Burdick. Joining me, I'm Jake Slobodnik. Voices of each respective teams. The Panthers with a 35-0 lead over Homer Center. But the Wildcats, no timeouts remaining, look to score, but they have a 4th and 4. Dunn back to pass. He's going to fire it to the end zone. He's got a man, and it is...
Flag. Interference is what it is.
It was incomplete, but yep, pass interference call. Pass intended for Homer Center's Will Jones.
Yeah, the cornerback back there, Sam Ewing, just basically hog-tied him and dragged him to the turf, and that's going to get you a call every time. And he had his back to the pass, and that was another mistake that the young man made. So that'll give Homer Center new life.
Score updates from around the Heritage Conference. Again, Cambria Heights Portage not even starting yet as we pass 8 o'clock. United Valley leading Conemaugh. I thought it was the other way around. Conemaugh Valley leading United Valley 12-8. Indiana with a 23-14 lead over Shadyside in the WPIAL. And Purchase Line leading West Shamokin 8-0 in our U92 game of the week. 12 seconds to go. Dunn firing toward the end zone again, looking for Jones, and it is incomplete. I don't see any laundry. And Brody Stuller in on the coverage.
Good coverage that time, and Stuller turned around. That was the difference when compared to the last play.
Brings up a second goal at the 8. Still awaiting a score from Marion Center, Northern Cambria, if we can get that, along with Penns Manor, Conemaugh Township. Last we heard, the Comets were leading 8-0 over the Indians.
Lightning at Portage, you said, right? Weather delay?
Yep. That gives me flashbacks to last year when...
Well, that's the kind of game normally I would be assigned to do. I'm surprised Homer Center's not there tonight. I'd be there until 2 in the morning.
I'll tell you why it gives me PTSD here in a little bit. Dunn on 2nd and goal at the 8 with 8 seconds left. Looking to pass toward the end zone. He's got a man on the out route. That's Jones. He's hit and forced out of bounds.
No, kept him in, I think, Jake.
Oh, maybe. And that's going to bring an end to the second quarter anyway. We've played a half of football. It's been all River Valley, 35-0. And we'll send it down to Ward Hilliard here in just a second as he's going to grab Coach Jess Hauser of the River Valley Panthers. I would imagine Coach Hauser very pleased, shutting out Homer Center 35-0. And the second half will start in the Mercy Roll. And maybe Coach Hauser can give us an update on Nathan Morscheid as well. Again, our Indiana Total Therapy halftime report is coming up next. River Valley with a 35-0 shutout lead over the Homer Center Wildcats. And Ward, I see Coach Hauser trailing back. He's the final person, and I think he sees you as well. And coming up, we'll have our radio replays as Mark specializes on his weekly broadcast, something new to the Cat Country side of things. And we'll send it down to Ward Hilliard now, who's getting Coach Hauser now. Ward?
Coach, thanks for the time. I don't think I've seen a blitz like this in a long, long time between these two teams. Boy, you guys are ready, were you not?
Yeah, these guys came pumped up. We got beat the last 2 years by them, and we're ready to roll tonight.
You got anything you want to try to do? I mean, everything you're doing is working. It's just amazing.
We're going to keep our foot on the throttle and keep rolling.
Okay, Coach. Good luck to you. Well, yeah, you're going to keep the foot on the throttle. We got to be in for a long night here, boys.
It's already long enough if you're a Homer Center fan, but River Valley fans, they got to be enjoying the daylights out of it. I can tell you, it doesn't matter now because the old series are history. The biggest thumping that Homer Center ever took from Blairsville Bobcat team, they both enjoyed 52-0 victories over one another back in the day. But this is a new day, and it's a new school, the River Valley Panthers.
Absolutely, and you got to think the River Valley Panthers are liking this after being outscored by Purchase Line 38-7 in the second half last time out. They come out scoring 35 unanswered points against the Homer Center Wildcats, and just a good night here in Saltsburg for the River Valley Panthers. Not a good night for the Homer Center Wildcats, but hey, still 2 more quarters to play. Both teams will talk it over. We'll continue with our Indiana Total Therapy halftime report next. We will have our radio replay segment courtesy of Mark Burdig. We'll bring you some halftime stats. We'll bring you a recap of the first half as well. And we'll get some thoughts from Ward down there on the sidelines. All that and more coming up next on our Indiana Total Therapy halftime report. At the half, it's River Valley 35, Homer Center nothing on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Sports.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, drive off in a new F-Series truck, Ford Ranger, Ford Maverick, or the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Check out the Ford Bronco, Bronco Sport, Eco Sport, Escape, Explorer, Expedition, Edge, and Mustang Mach-E. And always look at the exciting Ford Mustang. Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations, Route 119 Homer City and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg. LutherFord.com.
This is State Senator Joe Pittman, wishing all of our student athletes and their families every success. Friday Night Lights are always exciting, and I recognize how important it is for students to be involved in activities, whether it be in athletics or the performing arts. I salute not only all of our students, but also all who guide them, on and off the gridiron, and I wish all of our hometown teams the best of luck this season.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club invites you to take a look at the club voted Best in Indiana County 2023. Inside, you can find members unwinding with friends and enjoying delicious food like their homemade pizza. You can relax in the club by playing darts, pool, or shuffleboard. The club is a great place to watch your favorite team with family and friends. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club on Neal Road in Grayston.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Oh, hi, Nick Moore, head coach of the state runner-up Homer Center Lady Wildcats. When I'm not game prepping with the girls, I'm creating financial game plans at Walbeck Insurance. We take time to learn about your specific needs to create a game plan tailored just for you, whether it is auto, home, life, health, or business insurance. Come see me, Nick Moore, at Walbeck Insurance, where we offer more choices, more savings.
Call 724-479-9378 to let Coach Nick make a game plan for you.
TT Halftime Show News, presented by Indiana Total Therapy. World-class rehabilitation with 3 locations in Indiana County. Learn more at indianatotaltherapy.com.
And we welcome you back to the S&T Bank broadcast booth. S&T Bank People Forward Banking at the half. It's been all River Valley, 35-0. And we're just getting started on the Indiana Total Therapy halftime report alongside Mark Burdig. I'm Jake Slobodnik, welcoming you back for our radio replay, something that Mark normally does for his Homer Center Wildcat broadcast, incorporating it to our River Valley / simulcast here tonight. For those watching on Renda Digital TV, grab your nearest radio and tune in.
They come through as well.
Yep, and for radio replays, here's Mark.
All right, yeah, the radio replays the audio does make it through onto the Renda Digital TV. So here we go from our S&T Bank broadcast booth. People Forward Banking, S&T Bank. River Valley, 21 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second. We'll play mercy rule in the second half. River Valley won the toss and deferred. Wildcats went 3 and out. River Valley starting at their own 33 from the first play from scrimmage. Here's what happened.
Motion from left to right. It's a design quarterback keep. Gets a couple of blocks. He finds some real estate. He's at the 50. He started at 33. He's at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Panthers. Luke Woodring takes it all the way for a Panthers score, and they only needed one play to take a lead against the Homer Center Wildcats.
Cole Heckathorn's extra point made it 7-0 at the 9:54 mark. Wildcats moved the ball 54 yards, but stalled. River Valley took over at their own 17-yard line. Second down and 12. Gavin Burkhart got into the early act.
Handoff goes to Burkhart, follows his lead block from Quinn Whitmer. He turns on the Jets. He's got open real estate at the 40, the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He's got 2-minute pursuit. It's not going to matter. He crosses the goal line for a touchdown. River Valley, second rushing touchdown. 85 yards, maybe 86 on that rush by Burkhart.
Heckathorn's extra point made it 14-0 at the 3:33 mark. It kept getting worse for Homer Center. At the 2:40 mark, their quarterback, Angelo Alexander, injured, was in a sling for the rest of the first half. They went 3 and out. River Valley took over after a blocked punt at the Homer Center 36-yard line. From the 36-yard line, Sam Yanitz once again.
Man behind him is Yanitz. The pitch goes to him. He works the left side, trying to follow some blocks. Stiff arms one. He turns it on the burners. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Panthers. Second drive tonight. They only needed one play to find pay dirt. And Sam Yanitz, after scoring 2 touchdowns in each of the first 2 games this season, he's picked up his 5th on the season, a 36-yard score. And he faced some traffic initially, but then, just like Forrest Gump, he turned on the burners.
Heckathorn's third extra point made it 21-0 at the 1:35 mark. Ensuing kickoff, Wildcats fumbled for the second time in as many weeks in special teams. Mills coughed it up. It was recovered by River Valley at the 36-yard line. They took over with 1:29 left in the first. Moved to the second quarter. The River Valley Panthers were at the Wildcat 25-yard line, and guess who?
And man in motion, pitch goes back to Yanitz, taking a couple of blocks, and he breaks through the gap easily at the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Panthers. 15-yard touchdown rush by Sam Yanitz. Make it 3 games in a row. He's got 2 touchdowns at least.
Heckathorn's extra point, 28-0, 14 ticks into the quarter, of 5-play, 36-yard drive that took 1:44. Wildcats went 4 and out. They went for it on 4th down in their own territory. What the heck, you're down 28. Turned it over on downs, and River Valley started at the Homer Center 49-yard line. They were faced with a 3rd and 25, and somehow quarterback Woodring escaped on a play-action, beautiful ball fake, 45-yard pass to Merrick Smith to the Homer Center 30. They eventually had a 1st and goal at the Homer Center 5-yard line, and Woodring finished what he basically started.
It's an option play to the right. Woodring's going to tuck it. He's going to try to get across the goal line, and he does a 5-yard score to make it a tentative 34-0 with 5.5 to go in the first half.
Heckathorn's 5th extra point made it 35-0, which meant, barring a Homer Center score, we would play mercy rule in the second half. The Wildcats did threaten, but didn't score. Completed pass at the River Valley 8-yard line to close out the first half, and that's where we are at. Our ITT halftime report will continue from Trojan Stadium in Saltsburg. It is the River Valley Panthers 35 and the Homer Center Wildcats nothing. Mercy rule time in the second half. We'll check the first half numbers when we return on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Looking to experience luxury?
3 minutes, Michael. 3 minutes.
Then look no further than Luther Lincoln. From the full-size Lincoln Navigator to the mid-size.
At Grand Beginnings Children's Center, their focus is on growing and teaching children to be the best they can be. They know children need education, inclusion, and safety. Grand Beginnings has a mission to provide a warm and nurturing environment in which each child can grow physically, emotionally, socially, intellectually, and spiritually. Grand Beginnings Children's Center with 2 locations in Indiana, teaching children to shine since 1991. Call 724-463-1819. Find them at grandbeginnings.net.
Football fans across the county, did you know
Citizens Ambulance Service has been providing our community with professional emergency medical services for 59 years.
Citizens' 1,000 square mile service area includes 7 school districts and 47 municipalities.
They partner with local fire departments and individuals to have medically trained responders at your door as quickly as possible.
Citizens has responded to 5,400 emergency calls so far this year.
The Citizens Ambulance Board of Directors thanks you and reminds you that community support makes it work.
Best wishes from the Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Company of Gregory and Martin. Now's the time to have your heating and cooling system checked. If you're having trouble with pipes or drainage, contact Gregory and Martin. Gregory and Martin will get to the problem and get it fixed right. For all your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs, contact Gregory and Martin in Blairsville. PA number 5726.
Don't miss the biggest floor sample sale Dowd's Furniture has had in years. We're cleaning out all the shelves and filling both stores with over $4 million of inventory available for immediate delivery. Sofas, recliners, sectionals, bedroom and dining room furniture, plus lamps, pictures, and accessories, all available now. Hurry in and don't miss out at Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
At Diamond Medical Supply, we're always on your team. No matter your sport, you can count on our support. With braces, bandages, biofreeze, and so much more, all to keep you in the game. We're a winning care solution, no matter what you play. Diamond Medical Supply, keeping you healthy this season because we care about care.
Back into our S&T Bank broadcast booth. People Forward Banking, member FDIC, S&T Bank. 35-0 Panthers over the Wildcats. Before we turn it back to Jake and a look at some lopsided numbers, just heard from the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club again, thanks to digital manager John Smathers, who's not in the most ideal conditions, down in a closet basically at the bottom of the big landing here at the press box here at Saltsburg. A lot of work goes into setting these up, but we wouldn't be able to do it at all if it wasn't for our fine sponsors. And our presenting sponsor on Renda Digital TV for Homer Center football all season long, the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. Pizza nights at the GC Sportsman's Club every Thursday and Friday. And during the fall season, Friday Night Lights means post-game time. Come on down, hang out with friends after the game. And after Homer Center games, the pizza oven's open until 11 p.m. You can call ahead and place your order, 724-479-3985. Small cut, $7. Large cut, 11. Extra large, 14. You can't beat it. They do a great job down there. You know, I've been to a couple of meetings with our sales manager, Jason Hill, and there's some River Valley Panthers, I think, that are members on the board of directors, some fans that follow some members of the school district. So it's Panther fans and Wildcat fans alike. If you're a Panther fan, you'll be maybe toasting your favorite drink on a happier note. The Wildcat fans may be drowning their sorrows tonight. But either way, some great pizza. Our own Travis Williams had it. He heard the commercials last week. He said, I'm going to try that, and he liked it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that pizza sounds good, and I'm a sucker for pizza, so maybe I'll make my way down there if we get out early enough and get myself a couple of slices. Time for a look at first half stats. We'll start with the Homer Center Wildcats. Not a lot to go over. We'll start with the passing. Before he was out of the game with an injury, Angelo Alexander, 5 completions for 8 attempts, 39 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns. Braden Dunn, 2 passing attempts, completed 1 of them for 3 yards. Receiving-wise, Braden Dunn, 2 receptions for 26 yards. Caleb Palmer, 1 catch for 8 yards. Jackson Arone, 1 catch as well for 2 yards. Rushing-wise, the leading rusher for Homer Center tonight is Landon Hill, 17 carries for 60 yards. Behind him, Braden Dunn, 4 carries for 22 yards. Brian
Ryan Mills, 1 carry for -3 yards. And Angelo Alexander, he's been in the backfield more often than not. And net yards, 28 rushes as a team for Homer Center, 78 total yards. And now for first half rushing, 117 yards, my apologies.
117 total yards, yep.
Total yards.
You're looking at those sheets for the first time.
I am. I'm cross-eyed here. For River Valley, their stats very inflated. Luke Woodring has only made 3 passing attempts, completed 2 of them, 1 for -1 yard, the other for 35 yards. He's 2 for 3 with 34 yards, no interceptions, no touchdown passes today. Does have a couple of rushing touchdowns today, one of 66 yards, the other of 67. Oh, no, I apologize. He's got 66 total rushing yards on 3 carries and 2 touchdowns. Gavin Burkhardt, 108 rushing yards on 5 carries and a touchdown. Quint Whitmer, he's got 2 carries for 13 yards. Sam Yanitz, he's got a couple rushing touchdowns today, but I don't see any.
He might be. Jerry, where's Yanitz on the sheet here? He has 3 touchdowns, or 3 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns.
They're all phantom touchdowns.
And well, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Merrick Smith has a 35-yard passing reception, that is. Sam Yanitz caught the other reception for -1 yards. 221 total yards of offense. 187 rushing yards for River Valley. That's been their bread and butter all game long. 34 passing yards for the Panthers. And team stats for tonight. Homer Center leads in first downs with 8 compared to River Valley 6. That's because they've had the ball more often. Third down conversions, Homer Center is a team 1 of 7. River Valley is 2 of 2. Fourth down conversions, Homer Center is 2 of 5. River Valley is yet to attempt 1. No turnovers for the Panthers and a fumble for Homer Center. Penalty-wise, each team's got 3. Homer Center has 20 penalty yards. For River Valley, they have 22. 2 punts for Homer Center, none for River Valley. And time of possession, 17-10 for Homer Center and 6:50 for River Valley.
I had Sam Yanitz 3 touchdowns, a 67-yard touchdown run, a 36-yard touchdown run, and a 25-yard touchdown run. So quick math, that's 90, 103, 128 yards on those 3 touchdown runs for Yanitz, including the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, it's Sam Yanitz. He'll burn you like that. You give him the ball, and he'll just turn on the jets, and away he goes. And, Mark, I know you have a special message.
Well, I was looking to see if the Homer Center was coming out. Ward Hilliard will be getting Greg Page, but why don't we do this? The gold standard of care at IRMC at Chestnut Ridge in Blairsville has once again not gone unnoticed. IRMC at Chestnut Ridge was voted the best urgent care and walk-in clinic in the Best of Indiana County contest. And it's no wonder Urgent Care, they fast-track you, get you quick access to their team of medical experts, highly trained and ready to treat all minor injuries and illnesses, open 7 days a week, located off of Route 20 to Old Route 22 in Blairsville, where you get in, get out, get better. Part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life. Ward Hilliard awaiting head coach Greg Page. And Ward, I bet he's going to be in a dandy of a mood, down 35-0 here at the half, and I don't see the coach yet.
No, he hasn't come out yet. I got some information on Anthony. They suspect a broken collarbone.
Wow.
Just
Angelo Alexander.
Also, McCracken may have a fractured hand. And I believe Jones has a problem with his ankle. So there's a couple other injuries besides, of course, the one that's most important.
I see Jones on crutches.
I see the coach coming out now. I'm going to get him. I'm sure he's not too crazy. And over here, there's a Danny. I think this is Danny Jones on crutches.
Oh, Danny Jones, not Will.
Good news.
Well, that's his twin brother. So. Yeah, not a good night at all for Homer Center. Dan Antonacci, the referee that you cross paths with. And Dan has been doing this. Used to be a basketball coach, Jake, at Penns Manor. I still think he teaches out in the Penns Manor School District and does a good job in Comet territory. Defensive coordinator Tony Arone coming through. And I still don't see Coach Page.
I got him.
Okay, here we go. Down to Ward again and Coach Greg Page.
Coach, probably one of the roughest halves you've ever had as a head coach. I just don't know what the heck happened here.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. River Valley came ready to play. They caught us first couple series, they obviously caught us in something where we weren't aligned right or ready or weren't physical enough. I give them all the credit. They're popping pads. They're executing. We're not. Our confidence right now, especially defensively, is not real good. And, when that happens, this is what shows up on the scoreboard.
And you got a couple other injuries besides Anthony, which is devastating. But you guys will have to just work through that like you did last year. I'm sure that's something you weren't hoping for.
Yeah, we're a little bit used to that, but we hope for the best with Angelo. We got another one sent off to look for a concussion, a good young sophomore. And, it is what it is. We just told our guys at halftime, these are the guys we want to be with right here. These are our guys. Just come on, compete in the second half and see what happens. And hopefully at that point we come out healthy and you wipe it away and you have to move forward.
Well, good luck to you. Thanks for the time.
Sure.
All right, Ward, thanks so much. He's with head coach Greg Page. We're done with the Indiana Total Therapy halftime report. Coming up, our third quarter of action tonight. And that is brought to you by Friends of Shireen Hess. 35-0 River Valley at the half. Third quarter of action next on an IRMC High School Sports Night, the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Finding that missing shin guard.
3:30s.
Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes...
Hi, my name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 6 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, equal opportunity employer.
Have you dreamed of blazing fast internet speeds and unlimited data? Well, dream no more. Introducing SeaWorld, your gateway to a seamless online experience.
They add to the score, and Grand Beginnings Children's Center adds to the Teddy Bear Fund Drive. Throughout the season, they add $1 for every point scored in all of our high school games. Grand Beginnings getting children ready to shine. Before the kickoff, Homer Center will kick off left to right, and River Valley will receive the second half kick, looking to pour on more gas to the fire. 35-0, they're out in front. And it looks like Dom Spiel and Sam Yanitz back to return this, and Brady Frazier, the freshman kicker, lines up the traditional style, boots it away. Low line drive kick. Sam Yanitz returning it at around the 20 on the far side hash, working right to left. Finds a little bit of running room, sheds one tackle. He's at the 40, loses the ball, but right behind him in support is Dom Spiel, and River Valley will take up shop at their own 43. A flag comes in well late after the play. We'll find out this in just a second. Bring you some out-of-town scores. Well, here comes the call. Hold on River Valley. That'll set them back. Some halftime scores to tell you about. Northern Cambria blanking Marion Center at the half, 14-0. United Valley leading Conemaugh Valley. I thought that was reversed.
No, it was right. 12-8.
12-8. All right. United Valley over Conemaugh Valley. Cambria Heights Portage delayed due to lightning, and Penns Manor taking an 8-0 lead against Conemaugh Township before that game delayed, would imagine due to lightning. Purchase Line blanking West Shamokin 8-0 at the half. And Indiana beating Shadyside 23-14. They're getting underway in the third quarter. Here in Saltsburg, 35-0 River Valley. Luke Woodring and company back out, working right to left from shotgun set. He drops back to pass. He's going to fire it on first down down the field to Sam Yanitz, who's trailing, and the throw well over his head. It's an incomplete pass.
That probably won't make Greg Page and the coaching staff happy, but you have to keep, as Coach Hauser said, we're going to keep the throttle down, and he meant what he said. And they went for the downs on the first play of the second half.
Yeah, if you expected River Valley to be kind tonight, you're not in luck. After suffering a 38-16 loss last week, they're coming out guns a-blazing tonight. They want to make a statement that they're not out of this season here in the third week. 2nd and 10. Ball on the near side hash at the 34-yard line. Woodring goes under center, man behind him, double wide to each side. Handoff goes to Burkhart, makes forward progression, doesn't get a lot of yardage. And he's brought down by Jackson Arone.
Arone coming in from his cornerback position, has played a pretty solid game. The exception being when he came on a blitz and went for the wrong guy with the ball on that big third down pickup to Merrick Smith on 3rd and 25, and beautiful ball fake by Woodring, and then he booted to his right. Big play in that first half.
3rd and 7 coming up at the 38. Panthers in their own territory. Quint Whitmer going in motion from left to right. High snap corralled by Woodring. He tucks it and runs. It's a quarterback keep. Sheds one tackle. Working toward that far sideline. Tripped up, but he's going to get that first down. He needed about 7. He got about 8. Will Jones able to bring him down. If you're just tuning in, welcome back to Saltsburg, whether it's on Rented Digital TV or simulcasting on WCCS or Cat Country 106.3. Jake Slobodnik, Mark Burdick joining you from our S&T Bank broadcast booth. S&T Bank, people forward banking. 9:53 to go in the third quarter. It's the Mercy Roll as it started off that way here in the second half. 35-0, the Panthers lead it. They're making forward progress. Following an in-first bank first down, check out their checking rewards today. Under center, Woodring pitches it back to Burkhart. Trying to find some room. He does stiff arms one man, and he's finally tripped up.
Ocean Maritita.
Able to bring him down after a minimal game, 2, maybe 3, I would say.
With McCracken's injury, I'm trying to see who's in there at a middle linebacker spot for Homer Center. Looks like maybe Josh Voluchik has been plugged in there alongside Landon Hill. Keep in mind, even on incompletions, the clock will continue to roll here in the second half.
That's the PIAA Mercy Roll. 35-0 the score. 2nd and 8. Ball placed on the near side hash at the 47-yard line. Panthers still in their own territory. Black uniforms, new jerseys apparently, according to Superintendent Philip Martell. He posted it on the district's Twitter page today. Takes a snap, handoff goes to Sam Yanich, sheds one tackle. He's going to turn on the Jets. He's at the 50, across it at the 45, and he's got open real estate. The 20, or the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5. Third rushing touchdown of the night for Sam Yanich. No flags on the field, and River Valley continues to add to this monumental lead.
53 yards on that carry. His rushing touchdowns tonight, Yanich. How about 67? 36, 25, and now 53.
Now puts his season total at 7 touchdowns. I'd have to check, but I think that leads the Heritage Conference in rushing touchdowns. Averaging, coming into this one, 2 per game. Hackathorn out for his 6th extra point attempt. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's on its way, and it is good. 8:43 to go in the third quarter. It's 42-0. It's all River Valley on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Best wishes.
Hi, my name is London, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 6 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, equal opportunity employer.
Have you dreamed of blazing fast internet speeds and unlimited data? Well, dream no more. Introducing SeaWorld, your gateway to a seamless online experience. Thanks to T-Mobile's revolutionary 5G internet, you can now get lightning-fast connectivity right in the comfort of your own home. And it's only $50 a month. For more details, call Brian, SeaWorld's friendly and knowledgeable sales representative at 724-463-3200, extension 122. SeaWorld, the future of internet is here.
66 yards, took 3 minutes and 9 seconds. 4th touchdown of the night, 4th big run of the night for Sam Yanich. 53 yards makes it 42-0.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Sam Yanich making himself a case for Luxembourg's Jewelers MVP of the week.
We might give him the trophy before we leave.
Cole Hackathorn, a medium depth kick. It's heading toward the out of bounds marker, but it's returned by one of the up men at around the 20. Big hit, none on the ball handler. And he's brought down at around the 34. That looks like Braden Dunn with the football. and that's where he's going to set up shop on the far side hash this time around.
Brian Mills got racked pretty good on the kick return team for Homer Center. He's actually in a seated position. I give River Valley credit. They came out the aggressor. They were gang tackling. They came to play. Homer Center, as I mentioned, they played with zero fire and zero desire, and it has resulted in this, a 42-0 deficit here. But more credit to River Valley. Just put Homer Center back on their heels right from the get-go.
7:36 and counting due to the mercy roll. Homer Center back out there on offense. Braden Dunn hand off to Landon Hill, working the left side. Gets about 2 yards before he's tripped up. And I think it's Quint Whitmer on the stop. That is Whitmer. Clock continues to roll. It'll continue to roll unless Homer Center can bring this within 35.
I see Ward Hilliard. I was looking on the near sideline. He's on the far sideline. And WA, we cover Homer Center all year long. And, we'll get back to you after this play. I'll finish my thought, Jake.
7 minutes and counting. Hill out there in shotgun set. Sidecar to his left. Hill is his sidecar. He fires it deep down the field, looking for his intended target. Sam Ewing in there. Incomplete pass. You heard the whistle.
Yeah, right into Ward's crowd mic. Wireless mic.
Sam Ewing on the coverage.
Ward, we got that whistle. Good. If we weren't awake, that got us awakened here. You had a good audio of that whistle. But Ward, we cover Homer Center, have since 1994. And you said to Coach Page, maybe this has never happened to him before. I know the thing from Homer Center's side, you agree, the lack of passion tonight.
Totally. The coach agreed. He's disappointed, you could tell. I just appreciated the way he was handling it, though, Mark. Mm-hmm. He wasn't livid or upset or just screaming or anything. So, matter of fact, this is what we can wash it off and move on.
3rd and 7, the direct snap goes to Landon Hill. He's stuffed behind the line for a loss of 1 to bring up a 4th and 8 as we approach 6 minutes. Now under it here in the third quarter, presented by Friends of Shireen Hess.
Caden Barkart on that tackle. He's had a big night defensively, and the freshman who punted just once in the first 2 games. I think this will be his 3rd boot tonight. Long snapper is normally Dan Jones, so this is something to look for. Number 5, Jim, on the Homer Center chart, who's the long snapper? That would be Digan Fedoruk.
Back to return, looks like it would be Sam Yanitz and Dom Spiel. Trying to see if we have new numbers in there due to the size and score. Punt is away. It's a nice one. Takes a hop at the River Valley 39, and it takes a Panther hop.
We have immediate timeout.
We have a timeout on the field. 5:15. Well, they're going to 5:14 to go in the third quarter. It's 42-0 River Valley. Back in a moment on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Introducing the new Colonial Advantage at Colonial Auto Group. Our complimentary program with every new and used vehicle. 1 year of no-charge maintenance, meaning you can enjoy your new vehicle and let us take care of the rest. Plus, a lifetime warranty. That's a $2,500 value. The Colonial Advantage program is our way of giving you peace of mind with every Colonial vehicle purchase. Colonial Auto Group, home of the Colonial Advantage. Visit shopcolonialcars.com.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall is located on the grounds of the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club, featuring everything you need to make your next event shine. Inside the club, you can find members unwinding in the spacious bar and game room, enjoying great food and just gathering with each other watching their favorite team. The Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club and Twin Cities Event Hall, voted best in Indiana County 2023.
It's a true treasure in Blairsville, a style of eating that's rare, and that's the diner experience. Dean's Diner on Route 22 captures the
42 to a goose egg against the Homer Center Wildcats. And River Valley now taking over following a 20-yard punt. And Woodring still out there, goes under center. River Valley keeping their first string in. Dom Spiel in motion from right to left, and it's an option play. Woodring trying to find a gap. Following his blocks, he's able to make forward progress. Gain of maybe 5. Clock will continue to roll. 4:50 to go in the third quarter. Landon Hill in on the stop.
I have a feeling the fourth quarter will be reduced to a JV game. on both sides. I do believe they're going to play JV football tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at Homer Center. But a lot of injuries on Homer Center's side tonight, so maybe that plan could change too.
And I'm sure we'll find out. But yeah, it'd be nice to see some of the JV players get in for the fourth quarter. It's always good to get them valuable varsity reps here early on in the season. 4:20 to go in the third. 2nd and 7. Woodring under center. Wide out to each side. Vreslavic on the left and Spiel to the right. 2 men behind him. Takes a snap. He drops back to pass. Looking for the slanting Dom Spiel, and it's batted out of the air. Easy read by Homer Center's Will Jones. He saw that while it was still in Woodring's arm. Just a great read all around to break that up.
Greg Page, certainly in his 17 years, he's been on the delivering blow of these kinds of games where they've blown out, and he's always handled it with such class, getting his second and third teamers a lot of time. And 4-time District 6 champions, the Homer Center Wildcats, but a rebuilding year this year.
3rd and 7, clock continuing to roll despite the incompletion due to the mercy roll. Pitch goes back to Quentin Whitmer, Powers forward. He's able to get the first and had to hurdle a couple of defenders. He gets the first and a couple more. He needed 10. He got that plus some, and it brings up another in first bank first down. Josh Beluchik on the stop.
Quentin Whitmer plays bigger than his 200-pound frame. I mean, 200 pounds is a solid young man, 6 feet tall, but he looks a little thicker, and he runs. He's a rugged runner. He only had 58 yards on 5 carries. I mean, that's a great average, but I'm surprised he only carried 5 times coming into tonight's game.
Well, Coach Hauser wants to use him more as a blocker and maybe revert to him as a rusher when he absolutely has to, and hence the small number of carries. 1st and 10 at the 42 of Homer Center, and a drop jet sweep. Dom Spiel trying to pick it up.
New quarterback in there, too.
Yep,
Jay.
he does so, and tackled after the loose ball. Max Perchetti in at quarterback, the freshman quarterback.
I have to ask you, you'll know the answer. Is that younger brother of Ava?
Yes, it is. Max Perchetti, younger brother of Ava Perchetti, the basketball star who helped lead River Valley to a state championship runner-up in Class AAA. Meanwhile, the Homer Center girls basketball team was a runner-up in AA.
Amazing year for the Lady Cats and Lady Panthers.
2nd and 12, Perchetti under center.
Oop, almost
mishandled step. Yep, hands it off to Quint Whitmer. Gets back to the original line and powers forward for a couple more yards.
Marcus Perchetti is his dad, and Greg Perchetti, the grandfather. By the way, that was Jackson Taylor on the tackle. Greg Perchetti was a longtime assistant at Blairsville, the Bobcats, and amazingly, all their success shows you how hard it is to win a district championship. Wildcats have 4. Blairsville never won a District 6 championship. But Greg Perchetti coached under Ernie Widmar and Ab DeTore, and was a very, very good football coach. Great guy. Sings in the choir, or at least he did, at St. Simon and Jude in Blairsville.
Shotgun set. Perchetti pitches it out to the left. And that's Sam Ewing, one of the new tailbacks. Flags fly in from all over the place. Didn't get the first. Braden Dunn in on the stop. We'll see what this is. I would imagine this is a hold.
Ward Hilliard, this won't get any easier for Homer Center. They go to United Valley next Friday night. And River Valley, they're kind of in the meat of their schedule too, Jake. A very tough stretch because their next 2 games, they're at Cambria Heights and then West Shamokin.
Yeah, and West Shamokin, one of the underrated teams this year for the Heritage Conference. I think, a lot of people picked them to win it this year. Them and United Valley, they're going to be tough. Cambria Heights is naturally tough. They've been since they were a part of the LHAC. That's never going to get easier with that. So River Valley picking up a win today be crucial, give them some momentum going into that matchup at Cambria Heights on the road. I will say the Highlanders have a beautiful stadium.
Oh, yeah, got the turf. Great team rooms. They have separate locker rooms for the football teams, including the visiting team. Wow. It's a great facility.
56 seconds to go in the third quarter, presented by Friends of Shireen Hess. 42-0. 3rd and long, 3rd and 17 for the Panthers. Perchetti under center. Pitch goes back to Sam Ewing. Had a 30-plus yard rushing touchdown in the scrimmage against Penns Manor, but he gets stuffed behind the line and will be brought down at midfield. A loss of 1 brings up a 4th and long, 4th and 18. We'll see if River Valley tries to get this ball off before the end of the quarter. Will Jones in on the stop.
Yeah, Will's had a nice game defensively. He's playing hard, and that's all you can ask for. And looks like River Valley's contented heading to the 4th quarter, and so will we.
Yep, we're heading to the 4th quarter, and it is brought to you by Diamond Drug and Diamond Medical Supply. At the end of 3, River Valley 42, Homer Center, nothing. This is an Indiana Regional Medical Center High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
It's a true treasure in Blairsville, a style of eating that's rare, and that's the diner experience. Dean's Diner on Route 22 captures the mood and atmosphere of the old-fashioned family-style eating of the off-road diner. Scrumptious home-style meals you remember growing up with, capped off with Dean's Diner's famous assortment of homemade pies. Why not stop in after the game? Open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Dean's Diner, Route 22, Blairsville, the classic diner eating experience.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Brought to you by Diamond Drug and Diamond Medical Supply. It's been all River Valley up to this point, 42-0. We're still in the mercy roll, so you thought the third quarter will go by quick. I'm sure the fourth quarter will go just as quick. And
21-0 purchase line, Jake, over West Shamokin.
That is
Red
surprising.
Dragons are showing they're for real.
They really are. But, hey, they've always been sneakily tough. 4th and 18. Panthers going to punt it away. This looks like their first punt of the night. And Brad McDivitt will get it off. Not a great punt, but takes a couple hops, and it'll be down at around the 22-yard line by Quint Whitmer.
I might be wrong, but I think Caleb Palmer just got a little piece of that. Partially blocked it, but still ends up not a bad end result, 28 yards net.
Yeah, especially for the first. I mean, Brad McDivitt has had pretty much the night off back there in the punting for him. So 28 yards in the fourth quarter, not too bad. And we'll keep an eye out. I would imagine we're seeing a lot of new players for River Valley. We'll bring them to you as we see them. Casey Yingling, one of them. And
Mom and Dad and Grandma and Grandpa, they want to hear those names.
Garrett Jones, not the former Pirates first baseman. Benjamin Whitmer also in.
I keep telling you, the Pirates are in the wild card race. Are they winning tonight?
No, 7-0.
It's not over yet, though.
I don't have a 63 on my roster. And said Ben Whitmer. We see Brody Stuller in. Micah Griffith. And Braden Brzezinski, a freshman defensive back. And looks like Braden Dunn's still in there at quarterback, unless, Mark, you see differently. Handoff goes to Mills. Brian Mills, that is, for Homer Center.
Yeah, there is a new quarterback, and you won't see any passes, I'll guarantee you that. I won't disclose why, other than he can't throw any with an arm injury. Carson Arone is the freshman quarterback.
This should be interesting. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard carry by Mills.
This will be handoff time. Mills, I'd like to see them use him more. They're probably going to have to with all of these injuries mounting. And he's the sidecar to the right of Rufus Arone. They call him Rufus.
Handoff again goes to Mills up the middle. He goes nowhere. Might have gotten a yard, if that.
Ward Hilliard on the Homer Center sideline. You were on the River Valley sideline in the first half. They're supposed to play JV ball tomorrow at Memorial Field at 10 a.m. That just might be altered with what has transpired tonight. I'm not sure if Ward is hearing me or not.
I see Ward. I see him. I think he's trying to turn his mic on. 9:40 to go.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. I didn't mean to interrupt Jake, but was having trouble with his confounded mic, but I got back to you. Yeah, honestly, I would expect Homer maybe to postpone or cancel that tomorrow. They need to heal up.
3rd and 8. And handoff. No, it's a quarterback keep. And on it is Carson Arone. He's got a wide open field ahead of him. He's at the 50. Gets a block at the 40. Tries juking a man. And he's brought down at around the 30. And a flag comes flying in. I think that's going to be a blindside block. But what a play by the by the Homer Center offense and Carson Arone to sell that move.
That's a block that I don't know that was really a block in the back. It was more on the side.
Blindside block, maybe? It's hard to tell, but Yeah, you saw one of the River Valley players go flying, and that normally indicates that was too hard of a hit.
Still going to be a first down for Homer Center. It's 42-0. Come on, guys. I think I'd let the freshmen run and play on.
Well, it's 9:07, and it'll still be an In-First Bank first down. Check out In-First Bank's rewards checking today at the 9-minute mark. 42-0 River Valley over Homer Center, picking up a big win at home. They'll move to 2-0 on their home turf.
17-yard gain officially after the penalty mark off for Carson Rufus Arone, a freshman. He's the son of Wildcats' longtime defensive coordinator, Tony Arone.
Arone in shotgun set, sidecar to his left. The handoff goes to Mills, finds a little bit of running room, gets halfway to the chains, maybe a yard or two after that. And Dakota Sprague in on the stop. 8.5 to go. Not enough for a first down, but very close. Should be about a 2nd and 3. And we're going to see Cameron Perkey, a freshman linebacker, check in for River Valley. 5 foot, 115. Now, I'm really interested to see if Coach Hauser puts in number 4, Kira Watt. Only girl on the team.
Yep, I saw her before the game.
Handoff goes to Mills. Again, trying for that first down. Might have been a couple inches shy of it. And Evan Strauss in on the stop for River Valley as in comes Brody Hauser. And a couple others.
Is that a relation to Coach Hauser?
Yes.
Son?
I forget the exact correlation, but I know there is relation there. Keegan Leidecker also in for River Valley. 7:44 and counting.
We'll have radio replays on our post-game show. Interviews with both coaches.
Kira Watt is in. Lone girl on River Valley. She's in as a defensive back. The snap. Handoff goes to Mills. He punches it up the gut for a first down and a little bit more. He needed 1. I would say he got about 10.
I think. Did I see it number 1? I guess not.
Well, funny story about Kira Watt. She's actually a wrestler for River Valley, and Coach Jess Hauser actually coaches the wrestling team too. And I was talking to him before the season started, and Kira actually joined the team just to stay in shape. Didn't really expect to get in games much, but here tonight she's making her varsity debut.
Yeah, with blowout game, why not, right?
Zeke Doak, the starting center tonight, also part of the wrestling team, noticing a correlation here.
Tight end left is Deegan Fedoric, a youngster for Homer Center's in, as they have gone, basically this might be the JV game. There goes Rufus again.
Rufus again on the right side, gets the first. He needed 10. I'd say he got about 15 maybe. His 1st and 10 at the 41. Clock will continue to roll at 6:39.
This might be the JV game that was supposed to be played tomorrow. River Valley, since the consolidation, they are the largest school. Actually, no, that's not right. United Valley, 165 male students. River Valley, 162. West Shamokin, 125. Conemaugh Valley, because they merged with Ferndale, 125. And Homer Center, 106 male students. They are Class A school. River Valley, double A.
Rufus hands off to Mills on 1st and 10 at the 25. He takes it to the far side, and I think he got the first.
If you're Homer Center, you look for small positives. Ward, you just saw maybe what I saw from Brian Mills during camp, that quick cut right in front of you. He has excellent field vision.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. It was a beautiful cut. He was going wide. It had defense influenced out there, and he just cut in behind him, made 10 yards. Real nice run.
That's a kid that probably should have been playing more, but I think he will earn more playing time moving forward.
1st and 10 in the roads down at the 14. The handoff goes to a new man. That is Cody Bell, a sophomore running back at 5'7", 143 inches forward for maybe, well, I think he actually got stuffed behind the line. Score update from Andy Kuzneski Field. Indiana beating Shadyside 23-14 in the 3rd quarter.
Shadyside was averaging 42 points a game, I think. Yeah, Ward.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know Ryan Colbaugh is also injured. He has a suspected concussion. I just wanted to let you know that.
Rufus on the hand. Oh, no, quarterback keep. Doesn't get, well, he gets back to the original line, powers forward maybe a couple more yards. I'd say a gain of either 3 or 4.
Carson Arone, you have to believe, Jake, being around his dad who's coached football since he was about 6, Tony Arone. I imagine he's small in stature, but big in football IQ.
4:40 to go.
37 yards on what, Jerry? 3 carries.
First Commonwealth Bank quick stats for 4:34 to go, 3rd and 8. Ball at 12 on the far side hash on the right side. Arone takes the snap, hands it off to Mills. Didn't get the first. He's still trying for yardage, though. Not enough for a first down. He's brought down around the, I would say, 7 or 8 yard line. Brings up fourth down, 4:16 to go in the game.
They don't have the yard markers or the hashes painted on the field here, but as I said earlier, I'm impressed with all the signage, the tents, the logos. Well done by the River Valley School District here, reforming this Saltsburg field.
4th and 3, Rufus hands off to Mills, trying to make that final stretch for a first down. I don't think he got it.
Nope.
And it'll be a turnover on downs for Homer Center. Clock continuing to roll at 3:47. Hey, stick with us. Coming up after completion on the field, we're going to hear from both coaches. Ward Hilliard will grab Coach Hauser and Coach Page, get them, and we'll also have our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show, radio replays, as Mark alluded to.
River Valley will take over at their own 5-yard line, and they already have started the clock. So timeout going to be called, Jim.
Yep, timeout on the field. 3:22 to go in regulation. 42-0. River Valley sending out their JV to put the icing on, or the cherry on top. Have a final exciting conclusion of this game coming up next on an IRMC High School Sports Night on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club invites you to take a look at the club voted Best in Indiana County 2023. Inside, you can find members unwinding with friends and enjoying delicious food like their homemade pizza. You can relax in the club by playing darts, pool, or shuffleboard. The club is a great place to watch your favorite team with family and friends. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club on Neal Road in Grayston. Football fans across the county, did you know?
Citizens Ambulance Service has been providing our community with professional emergency medical services for 59 years.
Citizens' 1,000 square mile service area includes 7 school districts and 47 municipalities.
They partner with local fire departments and individuals to have medically trained responders at your door as quickly as possible.
Citizens has responded to 5,400 emergency calls so far this year.
The Citizens Ambulance Board of Directors thanks you and reminds you that community support makes it work.
Yards to the house, but it's not going to matter. There's some laundry around the 5-yard line. It's going to be a hold on River Valley. And the River Valley student section not liking that one being called back, but against Sam Ewing, we're no strangers to this. Against Penns Manor in the preseason scrimmage, actually ran one in 30-plus yards against the first team defense. He did really well there, getting some varsity reps here. Yep, the holding call's made. So imagine half the distance to the goal. Send him back.
It'd be about the 2.5-yard line. Yeah.
Clock stopped for the moment at 2:58.
I want to thank our studio engineers working the dual broadcast tonight on Cat Country 106.3 and WCCS AM 1160 and 101.1 FM. Michael Burdig, our digital producer, John Smathers, who had his hands full and his shirt soaked by the time he got set up. We were here pretty early, and we've made it work, and we thank the River Valley School District, Athletic Director Tierra Stossel for her great cooperation. Thank you, River Valley.
1st and 12 at the 2. Perchetti hands it off to Ewing again, working that right side, trying to get out of the end zone. He does, powers forward maybe 1 or 2 yards on that carry. Or no, that wasn't even Ewing. That was number 5, Casey Yingling. Clock continues to roll at 2:20. We also want to thank Jerry Rossai, our statistician tonight. We want to thank Owen Sayani, our camera operator, the senior at Homer Center, helping us out. We thank him for his efforts and for Jerry's keeping stats tonight. It ain't easy getting up here in this press box, but I'll tell you what, Jerry's been a good sport dealing with the sardine-like packness and getting us the stats here tonight.
We want to mention something, too. Our friends at the Altman Fire Department, they sponsor Homer Center football. And we'll get it after this play.
And Perchetti looks back. Under center. Snap. And little give and go to the up man. That's Michael Waino, and he's still powering forward. He's dragging all the defenders with him. Look at him inching for yardage. He went all the way from the 5 down to the 21-yard line. Michael Waino doesn't get in on offense pretty much unless he's a lineman, but he checked in as an eligible man, and he took it down to the 22. Mark, you were saying?
Yeah, the Altman Fire Department, they helped the Wildcats cash in when they score a touchdown. The bad news is they've been blank tonight, but you can play bingo every Thursday at the Altman Fire Department. Doors open at 5, games start at 6:30. Progressive payouts increase by $10 for every 10 players after 60. Come out every Thursday night at the Altman Volunteer Fire Department for bingo. Renda salutes all of the emergency responders and the many involved at the Altman Volunteer Fire Department. Altman Volunteer Fire Department, 58 7th Street in Altman. We're under a minute, Jake. There's some numbers on the board.
43 seconds to go. And Perchetti will just kneel it. They'll go into victory formation.
What would a 42 be? B-I, that'd probably be N42?
N42, yes. Yep. That sounds about right. That'll do it from Saltsburg. The final score tonight, 42-0 in favor of the River Valley Panthers. They come back, gain retribution in a big way after a loss last week, and they shut out the Homer Center Wildcats. Hey, don't go anywhere. Our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show is next. First Commonwealth Bank, time to be first. Member FDIC. That's on the way. It's 42-0 our final, River Valley over Homer Center on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
The Twin Cities. The Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club was founded 65 years ago to support and sponsor a startup midget football program. Some 65 years later, the Boosters have grown and now serve as the primary recreational arm of the Homer Center School District, sponsoring various sports such as baseball, softball, elementary boys and girls basketball, and yes, Bears football remains the foundation for our Varsity Wildcats program, teaching the basic skills to our children. Go Bears and go Wildcats from the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club.
The Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of our local teams and a proud supporter of American Legion baseball, is pleased to be part of today's playoff baseball games and wishes the best of luck to all the athletes participating. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They're a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams, from your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
At Diamond Medical Supply, we're always on your team. No matter your sport, you can count on our support. With braces, bandages, biofreeze, and so much more, all to keep you in the game. We're a winning care solution, no matter what you play. Diamond Medical Supply, keeping you healthy this season because we care about care.
For the third time in their history, a brief one as it is, Homer Center won the first two meetings at Memorial Field. First time on the road at Saltsburg, and it didn't go kindly as River Valley jumped on Homer Center early and often on their way to a 42-0 whitewash of the Wildcats. River Valley improving to 2-1. Wildcats dropped to 1-2, and they had several injuries along the way. The Wildcats went 3 and out on their first drive. The Panthers took over after a 33-yard Brady Frazier punt at their own 33-yard line. And one play, one score. It sounded like this.
Motion from left to right. It's a design quarterback keep. Gets a couple of blocks. He finds some real estate. He's at the 50. Started at the 33. He's at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Panthers. Luke Werdring takes it all the way for a Panthers score, and they only needed one play to take a lead against the Homer Center Wildcats.
Cole Heckathorn's extra point made it 7-0 at the 9:54 mark. Wildcats moved the ball 54 yards, but ended up stalling at the River Valley 17-yard line. The Panthers were backed up 2 yards on first down, faced with a 2nd and 12, no problem. Gavin Burkhart got into the act.
Handoff goes to Burkhart, follows his lead block from Quinn Whitmer. He turns on the Jets. He's got open real estate at the 40, the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He's got 2-minute pursuit. It's not going to matter. He crosses the goal line for a touchdown. River Valley, second rushing touchdown. 85 yards, maybe 86 on that rush by Burkhart.
Cole Heckathorn's second extra point made it 14-0 at the 3:33 mark. Things got worse for Homer Center. Quarterback Angelo Alexander injured with 2:40 left in the first quarter, a suspected broken collarbone. Cats went 3 and out. Gavin Burkhart blocked the punt. Panthers started at the Homer Center 36-yard line, and on first down,
Man behind him is Yanetz. The pitch goes to him. He works the left side, trying to follow some blocks. Stiff arms one. He turns it on the burners. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Panthers. Second drive tonight. They only needed one play to find pay dirt. And Sam Yanetz, after scoring 2 touchdowns in each of the first 2 games this season, he's picked up his 5th on the season, a 36-yard score. And he faced some traffic initially, but then, just like Forrest Gump, he turned on the burners.
95 seconds left in the first quarter. It was 21-0. Brian Mills fumbled the ensuing kickoff. It was recovered by the Panthers at the Homer Center 36-yard line. We moved into the second quarter. The Panthers were at the Wildcat 25-yard line. Guess who?
And man in motion, pitch goes back to Yanetz, taking a couple of blocks, and he breaks through the gap easily at the 10, the 5. Touchdown Panthers, 15-yard touchdown rush by Sam Yanetz. Make it 3 games in a row. He's got 2 touchdowns at least.
Heckathorn's 4th extra point, 28-0, 14 ticks into the second quarter. Cats went 4 and out, turned it over on downs at the Homer Center 49-yard line. 3rd down and 25, 45-yard pass from Luke Woodring to Merrick Smith to Homer Center's 30-yard line. They got it down to the 5-yard line, and quarterback Luke Woodring called his own number.
It's an option play to the right. Woodring's going to tuck it. He's going to try to get across the goal line, and he does a 5-yard score to make it a tentative 34-0 with 5.5 to go in the first half.
Heckathorn's 5th extra point made it 35-0. We were in the mercy rule heading to the second half. Only 1 score in the second half. A 53-yard run for the River Valley Panthers. Sam Yanetz to cap off his outstanding night as River Valley wins it 42-0 over the Homer Center Wildcats. Panthers now 2-1, Wildcats 1-2. We're going to send it down to head coach Jess Hauser. He's with Ward Hilliard down on the field. Ward?
Thanks.
Oh, hold on. Okay, Ward.
Thank you very much. Coach Hauser, extremely impressive win. Both sides of the ball. You guys are really prepared tonight.
Yeah, we wanted to come out to this game, be physical, more physical than we were last week, and get to the ball and make the plays. And I think that's what we did tonight. Everybody was playing on all aspects. Everybody was great tonight.
Is that a product of your scouting or watching the tape, or maybe a combination of that?
Nah, it's a product of the kids producing. You know, I mean, we put them in each week the position to win and produce, and this week they produced, and that's what they did. It was all them.
Their defense it was questioned a couple games, and boy, they just came out firing tonight. They stopped Landon Hill pretty much cold.
Yeah, we challenged them this week. Last week we gave up over 500 yards, and that's unacceptable. We put the challenge to the defense tonight, and we got the goose egg on the board. It was a good night.
I didn't realize how fast your running backs are. I saw that here tonight, including quarterback Woodring. Yeah. Very impressive performance by all of them.
Yeah, it was good. Our running backs are really fast. Our line gets a couple key blocks. They have a chance to break it, and they did very well tonight with that, seeing the holes and hitting the gaps and going.
I could see the blocking scheme you were talking about, and several times they just wiped out the corners and cleared that side, and it was just off to the races. That's a great job.
Yeah, that's what we know. We get Sammy Ewing on that outside. We get a block on that corner. He has the jets to go. And Gavin Burkhardt did the same thing, the same with Luke Woodring tonight. And you had Quentin Whitmer running the ball up the window, a powerhouse, and he did well tonight too for us.
Feels pretty good to bounce back from a loss, doesn't it?
Real good. I mean, it's the first time I beat Homer City since I've been coaching. I'm going to enjoy this one tonight.
Okay, Coach. I'll let you go. Thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, Mark, I'm going to try to get to Coach Page, who's going to be a little more subdued, and but I know he'll be telling you how it is.
All right, we'll get back to Ward in a moment. Our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show will continue after a 42-0 River Valley shutout victory over the Homer Center Wildcats. More to come on our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show after this on the Renda Media Football Network.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, drive off in a new F-Series truck, Ford Ranger, Ford Maverick, or the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Check out the Ford Bronco, Bronco Sport, Eco Sport, Escape, Explorer, Expedition, Edge, and Mustang Mach-E. And always look at the exciting Ford Mustang. Luther Ford, one trusted name, two great locations, Route 119 Homer City and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg. LutherFord.com.
The Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club was founded 65 years ago to support and sponsor a startup midget football program. Some 65 years later, the Boosters have grown and now serve as the primary recreational arm of the Homer Center School District, sponsoring various sports such as baseball, softball, elementary boys and girls basketball, and yes, Bears football remains the foundation for our Varsity Wildcats program, teaching the basic skills to our children. Go Bears and go Wildcats from the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club.
Introducing the new Colonial Advantage at Colonial Auto Group, our complimentary program with every new and used vehicle. 1 year of no-charge maintenance, meaning you can enjoy your new vehicle and let us take care of the rest. Plus, a lifetime warranty. That's a $2,500 value. The Colonial Advantage program is our way of giving you peace of mind with every Colonial vehicle purchase. Colonial Auto Group, home of the Colonial Advantage. Visit shopcolonialcars.com.
On the field with Homer Center 17th year head coach Greg Page. Ward?
This is something we don't generally have to do. Talk about a whooping, but Coach Page was generous enough to come over, and you pretty much summed it up at halftime coming out of the locker room, and that was pretty much the way it went for the night, wasn't it?
It was. I give all the credit in the world to River Valley. I mean, I thought we had a really good week. I mean, we've got guys that have been doing this a long time, and as coaches, and they can all gauge. They're looking at the same thing I'm looking at, but their playmakers made plays. They were given seams by their guys up front, and their guys made plays, and we didn't. And I mean, that's the key. And then we got a little banged up, and we didn't finish a couple drives that, maybe one of the drives early on in the first half could have helped to make a little bit of a difference. But they just simply outplayed us, out-hit us, out-coached us. What else can you say?
I don't know if you saw that coming or not. It's pretty hard to gauge a team having never been in your position. But, they just seemed to be – that wasn't Homer Center that I know. They were a little flat coming out for whatever reason. That drive stalled on them, and it just seemed to take the wind out of them.
Yeah, and again, they hit us in the first play, and it's just one of those things. I've said it for years, and I've always said it to Mark during some of the interviews. I don't like playing teams after they lose a game because they usually come back more focused. Now, having said that, we should have too, because we lost a tough one last week, and for whatever reason it didn't go that way, and then it snowballed. Again, what can you say? Sometimes you have nights like that. They deserve all the credit, and we got to go back to the drawing board.
Well, the big problem, obviously, at quarterback, we all talked about this in the preseason, that if he gets hurt, it's going to make a major challenge for you guys, and I guess that's where we're at.
It is, but it's like it's high school football, it's high school sports. We'll wait and see what he's going to get checked out, and one thing I can say about him is since the last season, the way it ended for him, he's been very determined. He has worked hard. He's got a tall frame, and he's put some muscle on, but it's so spread out because he's a tall kid and he's athletic, and he's all heart and soul, man. And I hope for the best. He had 2+ really good games, a little over 2 games that we had, and I hope we get him back. And hey, if not, we got kids in place. I mean, we got kids. It's going to be different. The look might be different, but this is why you do things like this. Like, you figure out, we have to figure out some things, both sides of the ball, and then our kids are going to have to rise up to whatever we put together.
Yeah, I think that obviously your work will be cut out for you on your defensive end. After 2 games in a row now, you're pretty much getting run over, and I don't know what the answer is, but you guys are going to have a little powwow and try to figure it out. Huh?
We are, yeah, and our defensive coaches, I mean, especially Tony, he's racking his brain. I mean, he's working hard. He's putting stuff together. He spends a lot of time at it. And, you got Coach Izzy, Coach Messer, and Coach Raymond up front working hard with the D lineman. And Coach Faust has been, a great addition working with secondary and then helping Tony with some, tactical things. And TJ, Trevor, and Tyler, those guys, we see them. It's like, we got good guys coaching. I think we got good schemes. We don't have a lot of size in some areas, but that's where we are right now.
Well, I think we got the right guy to try to turn this thing around, and you certainly got a good staff. And I don't have any doubts that you're going to put a good effort out there, one way or the other, and that's all you can ask.
I agree. You question yourself. I question myself with situations like tonight, and you feel like you're working hard, and we're going to go next week to a place with United Valley, and I don't know what they did tonight, but they're rolling, and that's going to be another tough challenge. And it's like no one feels bad for you, do they? When you're in this conference or any conference, no one feels bad for you when you're down and getting kicked a little bit. So it's going to have to come from us.
Well, I'm sure it will. I appreciate the time. You've been a real gentleman about this, and I always said I always get a kick out of those looks you give me because I know what they mean.
It's better than the alternative. I tell our guys at halftime I'm going to walk across and shake their hand and tell them and congratulate them, and that's not an easy thing to do. And I learned that the right way. And I said I don't want to be on that end anymore. I did that last week, and we do it again this week. And so let's try to have more of the times where they're coming and congratulating us. But it is what it is. It's high school football and it's life. It's hopefully teaching these guys something.
Well, we'll see you next week, and good luck to you, pal. Hopefully we'll be talking in a little more pleasant conversation.
Hope so too. Thank you guys very much.
That's Ward Hilliard, and Ward, you can pass along to the coach. It was 12-8, United Valley over Conemaugh Valley. We did not get an update, so that's that. Our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show continues, and Ward Hilliard also, just for the sake of telling you, in case you're wondering, the worst Wildcat loss in their history, 1928, when Old Derry Township defeated Homer City 73-0.
Just a couple years away.
You already knew that, right?
Obviously.
42-0 River Valley. Will come back. Jake will check the stats that shaped up this lopsided victory in favor of the Panthers when we return on the first Commonwealth Bank postgame show on the Renda Media High School Football Network.
The Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club was founded 65 years ago to support and sponsor a startup midget football program. Some 65 years later, the Boosters have grown and now serve as the primary recreational arm of the Homer Center School District, sponsoring various sports such as baseball, softball, elementary boys and girls basketball, and yes, Bears football remains the foundation for our Varsity Wildcats program, teaching the basic skills to our children. Go Bears and go Wildcats from the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club. Football fans across the county, did you know?
Citizens Ambulance Service has been providing our community with professional emergency medical services for 59 years.
Citizens' 1,000 square mile service area includes 7 school districts and 47 municipalities.
They partner with local fire departments and individuals to have medically trained responders at your door as quickly as possible.
Citizens has responded to 5,400 emergency calls so far this year.
The Citizens Ambulance Board of Directors thanks you and reminds you that community support makes it work.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club invites you to take a look at the club voted Best in Indiana County 2023. Inside, you can find members unwinding with friends and enjoying delicious food like their homemade pizza. You can relax in the club by playing darts, pool, or shuffleboard. The club is a great place to watch your favorite team with family and friends. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club on Neal Road in Grayston.
Robindale and its affiliated companies are proud to be a sponsor of all student athletes in the area. For nearly 2 decades, Robindale has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot and scar the western Pennsylvania landscape. To reclimate and beautify these areas, Robindale believes deeply in safety, compliance, and community responsibility. If you would like to become a part of the Robindale team, you can contact them at 814-446-6700, extension 122, or see how Robindale can assist your business at robindale.com.
The Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club was founded 65 years ago to support and sponsor a startup midget football program. Some 65 years later, the Boosters have grown and now serve as the primary recreational arm of the Homer Center School District, sponsoring various sports such as baseball, softball, elementary boys and girls basketball, and yes, Bears football remains the foundation for our Varsity Wildcats program, teaching the basic skills to our children. Go Bears and go Wildcats from the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club.
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall is located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, featuring everything you need to make your next event shine. Inside the club, you can find members unwinding in the spacious bar and game room, enjoying great food and just gathering with each other watching their favorite team. The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club in Twin Cities Event Hall, voted best in Indiana County 2023.
Will be heading over to Point Street Tavern to celebrate this win here momentarily if they aren't already.
Thank you for that great food, Point Street.
Oh, yeah. They forgot to mention it. They gave us a burger, a cheesesteak, and a Reuben. John had the Reuben. You had the cheesesteak. How was it?
It was delicious. And you had the hamburger.
I loved it.
And our poor videographer to our right, Owen Cyani, what did you get? Nothing.
I should have.
We owe him. We owe Owen.
He got paid for a fine night's work.
That's hard to say. We owe Owen.
Maybe another $15 now.
He's negotiating, and before we get too far with negotiations, let's take a look at final stats. We'll start with the Homer Center Wildcats leading rusher tonight, Landon Hill, 62 yards on 19 carries. Rufus Arone with 37 yards on 3 carries. Brian Mills had 37 yards on 9 carries. Braden Dunn, 22 yards on 4 carries. Angelo Alexander finishes the night 5 of 8 passing. He left the first half with what we believe is a broken collarbone. We'll hope for the best for him. And then Braden Dunn completed 1 pass on 3 attempts for 3 yards. And Braden Dunn also 2 catches for 24 yards. And total offense tonight, 152 rushing yards for Homer Center, 39 passing, leading up to 191 total yards of offense. For River Valley, leading rusher tonight, Sam Yanitz didn't need very many carries to do it. He carried the ball just 5 times, finished with 188 rushing yards, and
not a bad night. 4
touchdowns, it looks like. Gavin Burkhart finished with 113 yards on the ground, 7 carries, and a touchdown to his credit. Luke Woodring, a rushing touchdown, 16 yards on 5 carries, more of a short yardage guy for tonight. He finished 2 of 3 passing, he finished 2 of 5 passing with 35 yards, no touchdowns. Leading receiver was Merrick Smith, 1 catch for 35 yards. Total offense, rushing yards, 363 for River Valley to 34 passing for 397 total yards of offense, falling just shy of 400. And we'll take another timeout. We'll come back, wrap things up from Saltsburg. This is an Indiana Regional Medical Center High School Sports Night on the First Commonwealth Bank postgame show, 42-0 River Valley over Homer Center. Back to wrap it up after this on the IRMC Renda Media Sports Network.
Football fans across the county, did you know?
Citizens Ambulance Service has been providing our community with professional emergency medical services for 59 years.
Citizens' 1,000 square mile service area includes 7 school districts and 47 municipalities.
They partner with local fire departments and individuals to have medically trained responders at your door as quickly as possible.
Citizens has responded to 5,400 emergency calls so far this year.
The Citizens Ambulance Board of Directors thanks you and reminds you that community support makes it work.
Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations. Right now at Luther Ford, drive off in a new F-Series truck, Ford Ranger, Ford Maverick, or the all-electric F-150 Lightning. Check out the Ford Bronco, Bronco Sport, Eco Sport, Escape, Explorer, Expedition, Edge, and Mustang Mach-E. And always look at the exciting Ford Mustang. Luther Ford, one trusted name, 2 great locations, Route 119 Homer City and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg. LutherFord.com.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club invites you to take a look at the club voted best in Indiana County 2023. Inside, you can find members unwinding with friends and enjoying delicious food like their homemade pizza. You can relax in the club by playing darts, pool, or shuffleboard. The club is a great place to watch your favorite team with family and friends. Proud to sponsor the Wildcats, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club on Neal Road in Grayston.